Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be finishing off the narration and character voice acting for the side story Operation LUCENT Arrowhead. So then, final part, let's get to it. As always, to anybody who is bumping into the voiceover through this very episode, you can find the playlist for this whole thing in the description of the video at the very top, together with the playlist for the precursor story to this one, which is the other collab story for Rainbow Six, Operation Originium Dust. I would recommend the first story as well, because it is obviously a precursor, but enjoy and thank you very much. And as always guys, thank you very much for all the likes and the comments that you guys leave on these episodes, much appreciated, helping out a lot. And speaking of the comments, well, technically the comment I wanna mention comes from someone by the handle of @FrozenORB, and it entails a video link to another YouTube video, which I don't know if I can show or not. I don't wanna risk, you know, having the video flagged by the video owner, but I don't think they would. But just in case, all I'm gonna say is what they said, and that is that croissant scene really reminds me of this thing, which links then to a video which is basically, I'm gonna summarize it as, if you have someone you know that is French or is fluent in French and they are getting on your nerves, you take that video and you send it to them. It is a lot of croissants, and I am sure they will love it. Wink. But yeah, Frozen, thank you very much for that video. That was an experience, is all I'm gonna say. That video was quite the experience to be had. But yeah guys, final part, so let's get to it. Time for a quick recap of the previous one as always, and if you want to skip it, you can just hit the link as always, or rather the timestamp down below in the comment section in the pinned comment by me, and you'll be right at the beginning. So then, let's get on with it. On the previous part, we pretty much began where we left off, and that is on the meeting between Diaz and Ella. As they are discussing matters, we switch venues to, well, speaking of torturing a Frenchman, we switch over to a scene with Doc where he gets, well, he gets verbally tortured, essentially, by both a child and tequila. And he's having a whale of a time. After that, we switch back to the art community, where we see the members of Team Rainbow helping out the residents prepare for the art festival that they are preparing. Namely, or mostly, we see Ella helping out Techno repair the two giant dolls that have been preparing to dance the night away, essentially, during the art festival. And then we also see the first test run of those two dolls, as it is successful, and it's actually drawing many eyes from all over Dossoles towards the art community now. And now that all eyes are on the art community, people start to move. Raynell, in the meantime, is having his own little thing, as he invited a person in to repair a little music box that was apparently made by his mother and contains a little music note as well in there. But after the puppets had their little dance, Milos contacted Ella and is trying to, well, he's trying to get her to tell the art community to postpone their art festival, even if just by a day. But as Ella tells Milos, both the art community and, as we know, Raynell have, well, they have good reasons to hold the thing on that very day. None will budge. And then all forces start to move around the place. Mateo Capitan gets pretty much poked by the coalition forces, and he decides to do some very drastic things. He essentially commissions his, or rather commands his army forces to march into the art community and, well, put them all under house arrest, so to say. Take some prisoners as well, and pretty much have the army forces demolish all the art installations that have been preparing for the festival. In the meantime, Techno manages to escape after Diaz convinces her with a bunch of younglings and some elderly from the community to the Rhode Island office, where she runs into Catapult and the members of Team Rainbow, and she pretty much tells them what is happening. And meanwhile, the army forces are essentially just tearing the place apart. Techno returns with the Team Rainbow members, and as she and Doc are looking for a storage device that essentially has the plans for the two dolls on it, so they can rebuild them at any given point, they notice that the device is missing. And they find out that the leading officer, essentially, that is in charge, has the device on hand. Upon seeing that, and that they have several members of the art community pretty much as hostages down in the square, Techno runs down, trying to be pursued by the Team Rainbow members as quickly as possible, but she is faster, and she runs out, tackles the guy, grabs the device, holds it down, doesn't let go, and, well, the guy starts being a massive dingus as he steps so many times on her hands until they're all bloody, and one hand, namely the right one, is pretty busted up from that mangling. But the Team Rainbow members manage to come just in the nick of time before he can do anything more drastic, and they put the guy in his place together with the other forces, but they did their thing, they did the damage, and they are now retreating. Later, we see Ella go back to Raynell to pretty much ask if he had anything to do with the attack on the art community, and he is basically not hiding anything anymore from her. Basically, to put it simply, he both is and isn't responsible at the same time for what he did, but more responsible than not, as he is continuously stoking the flames that are Mateo's ass. As she returns back to the community, she sees that the people are pretty despondent, but there are a couple of moles in the art community placed by Mateo, and those moles are staking the flames and pretty much prompting the people of the art community to stand up, take whatever they can, and go to the art gallery of Raynell's and, well, show him who's boss. In the meantime, back at the art gallery, Tequila is sneaking about, trying to find out what is happening. And we see through a conversation between Milos and Raynell what has been transpiring behind the scenes. Essentially, Raynell put a lot of very important art into the Galleria, all in the hopes of sending a message, and the message is a big fiery explosion that will take all the art that was placed in the Galleria up in flames and, well, send a ripple throughout the art communities across Terra for generations to come, probably. And in the meantime, Tequila, who finds a secret door, well, he finds quite a ton of explosives. And that is where we left off. So then, let's head in. Alright then, so today we will obviously be ending the story with our last 4 things here on the very right. Before we do so, very quick overview. Obviously, this is the final episode, so stuff will be as usual, meaning we will be obviously doing all the scenes, all the introductions of enemies. Stage 8 is obviously the boss stage, so boss battle will be included, together with boss description and so on and so forth. And of course, after we are done with the epilogue cutscene, we're gonna add one more epilogue that is a bit of a reach, but it's still sort of an epilogue for at least one of the characters, which is of course the operator record for Ella. So we have quite a lot of ground to cover. So let's begin on ST-2. Curator's reception room. How fortuitous that we made it in time for such an important event. Now, come with me, please. Renel really knows how to grind gears. A perfectly good art gallery opening and he has to hold it late in the night. Now I'm stuck here waiting for it to finish in the morning. I bet Renel's gonna show us something totally out there, don't you? Why the all-nighter otherwise? Whatever, I was looking forward to the Street Art Community Festival anyway, and that got cancelled for no reason. I've got nowhere else to be. Renel's taken the joke too far, keeping the concrete details of this opening ceremony secret even from high-level partners like us. I suppose playing to the gallery is his little job. You think of a joke that manages to drive over half of Terra's art investors scrambling to our bunker city HQ the way they have for the Galleria Kristalla, and then I'll hear you whine. Yes, sir. This Casimir is in on a brochure. I wonder if his salon really will get a painting or two of mine sold. This isn't Lithuanian. It's all about your story, whether or not it's enough to excite the investors. Didn't you say to leave all that work to you? I kept telling you, dye your hair, learn some profanity, dress in tidy clothes, call yourself a rebel against the rotten system of nobility, and they'll all eat it right up. But you won't do any of that. So, what can I even say? I'll give you one last tip. It can't beat a rebel spirit, but there's people who still like the down-and-out noble SSL. Whether or not it's enough to get the investors steering, all comes down to you. On the PA, ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. Our opening ceremony is about to commence. Repeat, ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. Our opening ceremony is about to commence. Renel saunters up to the podium erected in the Galleria's front plaza. He calmly surveys the crowd before him a few times, especially the ones in seats closest to him. He confirms to himself that all expected have shown up, and then clears his throat. Everyone, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Please take your pick, depending on when you usually sleep. Thank you to everyone who applauded, and thank you to those who didn't. You have, after all, sacrificed your own precious sleep hours to admire this magnificent dawn with me, here in the City of Two Suns. Huh. Thank you for your warm welcome. Thank you for joining me, as together we make history. A small part of it for sure, and possibly of no note to ages far from now, but to all of you here, it will be one you remember for the rest of your lives. What a smooth talker. Meanwhile, in the city, a community resident can be heard singing God Save Bolivar and God Save Dossoles. Our tourists fork out money with their brains full of air. And the future of the city is one and same. To which a actual community singer responds, Hermano, you need some fresh lyrics, let me accompany for you, I'll write you something a bit more topical. To which he proceeds, God save the coalition and God save Kowalski. The army brass gets in bed with all our slumming millionaires. On the night when the freak nightmare beast comes to play. Back to the Galleria. Everyone, welcome to Dossoles, and welcome to Galleria Kristalla. Before we get to the main course, I'd like to introduce to you all this event that marks a new age. I'm sure not all of you are for the Galleria or the opening ceremony. I'm sure a lot of you sitting there are thinking, this is just some forced antic by Casimirzian Failson. You would probably care more for something lucrative, so I have it laid out here before you, to satisfy your curiosity and greed. Ladies and gentlemen, please bring out your personal terminals and raise them high in the air. You proclaim yourselves individuals of refined and discerning taste. You keep up with the trends. Portable terminals, an invention to stand with the greats. An escape for people from the guilt of wasted time, bringing news to every corner of every city, connecting them all together as one. And it's on this rich future vein I'm willing to build a drilling platform in the name of art, and stuff your wallets full with the golden coins and crisp paper bills it gushes forth. It is with great pomp and circumstance that I introduce to you this groundbreaking invention, which will soon make waves throughout the intercity net. The Collector's Virtual Art Piece Project. If anyone just thought NFTs, yep, that's literally what you just said. Anyway, continuing. Bro, how come I've never seen you before? What are you talking about? I live right upstairs from you. Oh, you're that one guy, huh? Pisto? Yeah, you got it. Didn't you go to get treated though? Who cares? Does getting treated give Raynell the right to storm into our neighborhood and wreck our shit? Damn straight. How about it? Let's head over to the gallery and throw a real party. Shall we? Should we go big? No doubt we go big. No, you're talking. You can't give a guy like that a single inch. Collector's virtual art piece? This is what you did with our capital? Think about it. Soon some artists will cease to work in paints and brushes. They'll sit before their terminals, creating works for the intercity net that you'll be just as able to invest in. I can take any painting in the Galeria's collection, make a one-for-one copy of it on the intercity net, and you'll be able to see its every detail on your terminals, whenever you want. No one will be able to steal or duplicate the painting. All rights to the virtual artwork will lie with you. Sell it, destroy it, it's all up to you. This is blasphemy against art! What was that? I'm blaspheming against art? Look at that grizzled, big-bellied investor beside you. If you want blasphemy, well, he's the master. You people don't care what creators conceive or convey, you just want the rights to the interpretation in your greasy grip, to easily manipulate prices against market trends. You do the same thing, and so does your father. When have I ever tried to claim that Szczepan Kowalski does not blaspheme against art? I know at a glance that the man beside you eagerly agreeing with everything you say is desperate for you to beg others to blaspheme against his art for only a prettier penny, isn't he? You're mad. Is arguing with the audience part of his opening ceremony? Look, he made a name for himself as a maverick. You can't deny that, can you? Can you, sir? Huh, how dull. All he knows is fiddling with his terminals. What a surprise. This bunch isn't any better. Hypocrites. El Capitan covers the ominous glint in the corner of his eye and puts on an expression of indifference before anyone can cotton on to him. Ladies and gentlemen, I am about to present the very first batch of CVAPs in all of Terra. Beneath the podium, the crowd hushes for a spell. They've had an ample taste of Raynell's zero amenity to reason, but a man without reason is still a man, and who'd naturally want to maintain the privileged life he enjoys. Or to put it another way, he needs money too. The issue is the difference. And the difference is that the layperson who abides by the rules makes money in ways everyone can accept, and be amicable while doing it. The unreasonable sod, meanwhile, has a nasty habit of looking down on the rest while churning their cash. But no matter, as long as the sod still seeks money, the layperson will always find a chance to pick every last scrap of the madman's innards clean. Sir, what should we do?
Let's see how this plays out. See what collectibles he can wheel out for us. The intercity net isn't enough to sustain a new field of investment, but there's a chance this madman can strike some actual treasure. We've got ways to get what we want anyhow.
These pieces brim with the kindness and hospitality and brightness and sheer beauty I've come to feel during my time in Dossoles, and so they possess the Geist of commemoration, one to forever elude comparison. I proudly present to you all, El Capitan Molesto! How is this worth anything? You're out of your mind, a rich kid with brain rot.
It's over. It's all over. There's no art salon here.
Well, why do I paint for a living? Wait, bro, that virtual art piece or whatever, that one, I think right now, based it on you?
But me?
El Capitan stands himself up, first looking at the terminal in his hand, then at the show screen, and finally at Raynell, whose line of sight meets his. Capitan Mateo, in light of how jolly our first meeting was, I have one more gift for you here. You are going to be the model for the first CVAP in the entire history of Terra. Come, pick one. I'd be glad to grant it to you, free of charge. All eyes in the venue land on El Capitan. He does not immediately respond to Raynell. His first order of business is one more glance at his terminal. And finally he sees the news he's been waiting for this entire time.
No need, Senor Raynell. You keep it for yourself. So sorry everyone, but I have urgent news to announce.
Who are you?
I'm a representative of the Bolivarian coalition government in Dossoles, Senor. The latest news indicates a terrorist threat targeting the gallery is imminent. I ask you all to follow my instructions to get to safety. Reliable information suggests that rioters are charging our location at this very moment. Do please follow the soldiers under my command to shelter in the gallery.
Vague, on the horizon are a notable number of silhouettes seemingly charging for the Galleria, apparently emerging with an indistinct jumble of chorus of singing.
Come with me, senor. No, I need to find Candela.
Not now. You grab him. Sir!
Let's go right now.
Mr. Mateo, you really have furnished my opening ceremony with a tremendous surprise.
Man, I want you to haul him away, off to his favorite balcony to watch the sunrise. I'll have a talk with him later. Oh, also, remember to make him climb the stairs himself. Status?
We've managed to intimidate... convince the majority to accept our arrangements. We're relocating them to the Galleria Cristava interior now. There's a few troublemakers unwilling to listen to us. You see,
Troublemakers? Once the majority are inside, I want blades against their throats. See if they have the stomach to make trouble then.
Sir!
What about the street art people?
They'll be here in a few minutes. Our plans there have succeeded in instigating them. Now we just wait for them to reach the plaza and carry out their atrocities, and they'll substantiate the terrorist attack claim.
Dawn is coming. We need to hurry.
The gallery is just after the turn there.
I can't wait to give Renell a shock.
I like it. We'll smash up his gallery and loot every last piece of stupid crap in there.
Huh? What's your deal?
What? What's my deal? Didn't we say we were gonna go big?
When I said go big, I meant we were gonna turn his gallery doorstep into our own arts festival and completely flip Renell's opening ceremony. What was your idea of going big?
Whatever, I'll go scout ahead.
Techno?
What's up?
The guy there said he lives above me, but I'm not buying it.
Go on. What's up?
The hawker's jaw drops wide open. He points a finger at the gallery front plaza, just a turn away. There is a podium there, and seats, and even jackets left on those seats by the audience. But not one person is present. Not a one.
Well, shit be happening, and I swear, NFTs, really, we brought this into this world. I kinda low-key have both respect and I hate the guy even more now. Oh, that was a beautiful moment. On the initial read, I lost my shit. That was beautiful. The moment he said it, the way he said it, I knew where this was going. I knew where this was going and I was hating it. I was so hating it. But I also loved it at the same time. So stupid, but so good. Anyway, should be going down, so let's continue. Stage 7. Emergency exit. We have a small situation here, but rest assured, the Galeria's safety and security are top-notch. Sure they are. Let's see about that.
Sir, all ceremony entities are under our control now, and Renell has been secured on his balcony. Good. Are our reinforcements in position? 15 trucks are parked outside the gallery perimeter. You don't need me to tell you what to do next. Sir! Remember, tell those wassos not to wreck the art as they load it on the trucks. If anyone damages a single piece, I'll take a finger off them. Roger. Oh, also, don't forget to confiscate the terminals of those pampered shits. And any belongings they have on them. I'm assuming we also... Huh. You get it. I like that. I don't care how you handle the people, but the art. You use a feather touch on that. Go. I still need to see Senor Renell about something. Good morning. Nice view of the sunrise. Sorry, you're far too cultured for that. I should be asking you if it's beautiful, no? The silent treatment. If you think you're any safer for it, you're gravely mistaken. Well, let's get on topic, which is that I have no topic for you. All you need to do is sit here, behave, and act like you're a victim of a terror attack. That's what you're casting me as? Oh, look at that. You do have a mouth. Sorry, my fault. I thought you'd seen through something or other, but then I thought a little more and no. This is just the coincidental idiotic concoction of a man blinded by greed. How about that? Upstanding airs a moment ago, and now you're starting to lose your temper. No, I have no complaints at all regarding this coincidence, because I've come to see it for what it is, simply the finishing touch of my final creation. And of course, because it was coincidence and not your intention, I thank Lady Luck before you, Captain. Excellent. Now shut up. Sir! Sir! What? Intruders? No, actually, it's, we'd better talk inside.
Papa, did we get the date wrong or what?
Impossible. Look at the scene. A crowd was here just moments ago. Something happened.
So, someone saw us, reported to Raynell, and he ran back inside the gallery? This isn't Raynell's MO. Supposing he did know we were coming, he might be outraged or excited, but he'd never turn tail and run. So, what is this? Huh? A terminal? Is that mine? Hello? Ernesto?
Speaking.
How's it going? Getting somewhere with your personal business? Arletta, notify these street art people not to go near the Galleria, at least for today. What? Why? They've planted a huge amount of originium explosives in there, ready to blow at any time. Originium what? Arletta, I don't like the sound of that laugh. Where are you? Me, Ella's gang, Techno, Diaz, the artists. Everyone's in the plaza in front of the gallery right now. So why don't you get out of here fast? Sorry bro, but I've got a few questions for you too. Ernesto, why are you this clued in? Where are you? Cool, got it. Tell me every last piece of information you have, Ernesto. Arletta! Or else I'm going in to save you like I don't know a damn thing.
Pelotudo! Idiot! I tell you to make sure your men don't wreck the artwork, and you proceed to ruin one personally!
Sir, just hear me out. Inside that picture I broke, there was an originium bomb.
What?
And it's not even the only one. I spotted a suspicious wall in the stairwell, like it was freshly plastered over, which didn't seem right.
So you broke the wall down, and there were bombs there too?
Not bombs, they were detonation control nodes, which means there's more than one detonator, and there could be more explosives than we know.
That's what you're casting me as? I thought you'd seen through something or other, but then I thought a little more, and no. This is just the coincidental, idiotic concoction of a man blinded by greed.
Sir, these things could level the whole gallery, and we don't even know how they detonate. It could be manual or timed. Let's load everything as fast as we can, take the cash of the rich guys, and call it here.
You're ready to just walk away?
The bombs are inside the Galleria. Ready or not isn't the question here, sir.
If we don't pull this off, we'll be public enemies of the coalition government and Dossoles.
All we have to do is run. They won't catch us.
Run where? Into the wilds? And a couple hundred gold certificates to each man in this band? What have we been risking our lives for?
No, sir, I'm serious. If worst comes to worst, we can ditch the country as mercenaries or bandits.
Bandits?
I'm just supposing. My point is we don't have to play along with Raynell's insanity.
Fine, I get it. Who else knows of this?
Only me. I haven't dared tell anyone else. I was worried the news would panic the man, so I came straight to you.
Very well done. Go, tell them they can stop hauling. Clean those quickos, those rich people downstairs, of every last drop of their grease. Then we evac immediately.
Thank you.
Oh, also, stop losing your head. Speak calm, walk slow, and don't let them see a single crack. You hear me?
The soldier about faces, then breaks into a run for the stairs. Suddenly comes the sound of a bowstring. He has no time to look back before a heavy bolt pierces straight through his back and protrudes from his chest.
My boy, after so much loyalty, so much preparation, so many decisions, so many points of no return, you go off to be a bandit. I lost my chance to turn back. So did you.
A terrorist attack college? Renel set up the bombs, the captain took the crowd hostage, and neither seemed to know what the other was up to. That's what Ernesto tells me anyway. They're both insane. Yeah, both of them are crazy. We need to prep for the worst case scenario, with the hostages prioritized above all else on all accounts. Let's hash out a concrete plan of action. We've got 5 names to our side. Iana, Doc, Fuze, me, and Rhode Island's Catapult.
Count me in too.
You sure?
Don't forget my past life. Besides, it's not just that Renel bastard trapped in there, and not just the investors either. Many are ordinary folk. I have to go.
Papa!
Don't try talking me out of it. I'm going.
Who's talking out? I'm going too.
You? You and the others can forget it. It's dangerous in there.
Come on, Papa, think about it. Sure, we've never been firefighters, but otherwise, we're thinking everything you're thinking, no? Guys, listen to me. We're about to rescue everyone in the Galleria. This is entirely voluntarily. Everyone who's in, step forward and listen to Ella. If you don't want to go, no pressure. Head back to the neighborhood in case Mateo makes a move on our community and screws us before he's down for good.
What do you think? You going?
Don't wanna die, I'll be real. I'm not going. Think of all the pictures still waiting for me to take them.
I kinda want to see those art investors piss their pants in fear.
That's tasteless.
Tasteless?
Pant pissing's no good show. What I wanna see is the art Renel bought. I thought you'd have to cough up for tickets for Renel to see the goods, but it changes things if we're going in to save them anyway. I mean, if you're gonna...
What are you pulling out Renel's pamphlet for?
This! Galleria Kristalova's Exhibition Hall number 2, Exhibit 14. An anonymous Minoan bard's manuscript from the night before Sargon annexed Minos. How could such a beautiful poem, such a precious manuscript, end up bought by Renel? I learned Minoan just for this one poem. I'll recite it for you right now.
Don't bother. It's all Minoan to me.
What the heck are you crying for? When I just think about that bard's bitter fate, and then I think about the manuscript, and then I think about me, I'm going is what I am. Even if the bombs blew me up when I see it, it'll be worth it. I have to go. Considering the number of hostages, we can have the majority of our people evac the ones we rescue. Best leave HVT suppression and explosive disposal work to us. Catapult, is Tequila on comms right now? I got him. Mr. Tequila? Miss Ella? Don't tell me you're crashing the Galleria with Arletta. It's dangerous in here. We're the ones you hired to deal with this sort of thing, sir. Catapult says you're trapped in a dark room on the east wing, 3rd floor of the gallery, and the room is filled with explosives. Seeing how lively it is downstairs, there should be plenty of people shut in there, correct? Yes. Are the captain's men in there? Have they noticed the bombs? They should be there, but it's too noisy. I can't quite make anything out. Hold on. Tequila? Two soldiers passed by the darkroom entrance just now. They were discussing how to load the art onto their trucks. Good. That's what we'll build our plans around. Say, is something this small really gonna blow up whoever's in there? Blowing up the Galeria's glass walls is one thing, but we're talking about the warehouse that Matteo used as his command node. Who knows if he has patched up the walls here?
Of course it will.
But, okay, you repelled outside the second floor, but you're still standing against the wall. Shouldn't you bust a window and throw these things in?
Did you hear something just now? It was like donk, donk, donk? Well, except it was 5 donks. 3. Who gives a damn if it was 3 or 5? Doesn't matter. We can die of old age holding this bunker if we want. All those idiots in the plaza can do is stand around drooling. Deployed! Time to pull back! A string of explosions rings out of the building. Catapult's jaw hangs slack as she stares at Fuze. About to offer a word of admiration, Fuze shakes his head at her. And then from inside the room, an even more violent explosion. The cluster charge has ignited the explosives cache within. Elan, this is Fuze. We should have hostiles from perimeter defense coming out now. Get ready to engage. And Catapult, it's about time we move.
Don't you think the explosions already would have knocked them out?
Never assume your enemy's an idiot, even if he really is. Incoming! Incoming!
Are you some kind of genius?
Not in a million years. What I have is training, intel, synergy with my teammates, and just a little pinch of technology. It's that simple.
Fuze, Sitrap.
Clear. The Henders are pretty lazy. Zero guard against us storming them, and we didn't give them any time to notify their superiors.
Good work. Time to begin the siege. Everyone, we have to act quickly. Don't get sloppy, and don't give the defenders any time to react. Let's go.
Did you hear something out there just now? An explosion? Think so. No way those lunatics actually came crashing in. For what? To rescue Renel? No more hallucinating. Catch! This one's some sort of Yanese porcelain. Might smash with a single bump. Careful!
You almost smashed it along with the entire display case just now. You turn around and tell me By the way, didn't our leader break that vase thing and say he was going upstairs to report to El Capitan? How come he's still not back?
Probably still climbing the stairs, just like the first time we came. Or he's talking with El Capitan about giving these things a home. Maybe they've even figured out how much each of them are pocketing.
Grenade out! No hostages in the room. Take out the defenders.
The hell? You guys? Don't wimp out! Their rapid fire doesn't pack enough punch!
I'm not scared. I just want to find somewhere to safe to call for reinforcements. Don't even think about it.
Decent shot. Shame your charges just now were too weak. Took less from that than a slug bite. And how about now?
Wait, you're the attackers? You must be crazy to seriously...
Of course we're serious. Ella, what's that thing you say, clear?
Nice work, but give us a heads up next time. Doc, Iana, keep moving per Tequila's direction to the bulk of the hostages. Hostage safety is priority 1. No rash actions in a bad situation. I'll lead the others to sweep the first floor of the fenders, then we'll rendezvous with you. Copy. Diaz, Techno, let's go. Diaz?
Look at all this art. Paladuli's throwing a javelin, a Minoan statue. This one's a pure gold gilded enamel revolving vase from Jan. And a manuscript from the great Ursin author Sergei Katayev. Let me see which one of his it is. A receiver electrifying ore in the mire of the heart. Damn it all, this is the one. Renal has it in his collection. He and Matteo are two kinds of scoundrels. One's blowing it up, one's selling it all. Nothing but... Whatever. I'll leave it to the next guys to sort out. Let's move.
A pulse. A pressing pulse. In a deathly silent room, there is but a rapidly, incessantly pounding heart, and naught else, save for... A voice on a TV. Stay back! I'm not letting you in! You come in and we'll take you with us! A scratching noise can be heard on the door on the TV. The noise is gone. She's gone. Tut. What a scary scene. What was this flick called? Oh, Panic at the Museum, the Secta Slaughter. This is the one by that circus director who lives in Colombia. Figures they made a Villana Sancta in this one then. Looks like Renal Security isn't too busy most of the time. Guess all I can do is sit here watching tapes and fantasizing about murders taking place in his gallery. Good for them though. The way El Capitan sees it, everyone worth anything is downstairs moving stuff already. Meanwhile, you've got us, who don't really care two ways about him, and we get to sit here on cushy guard duty.
There's trouble downstairs. I want a report from anyone who knows what ASAP.
Trouble?
There's gunfire and explosions down there. People on the 6th floor heard it. What's going on with you? Are you blind or deaf?
I told you to turn the volume down a little, but no you wouldn't. Shut up, you! I'll contact downstairs straight away. Nope, not getting through.
Would I be asking you if I could? I want you to figure out what happened downstairs immediately. If there are troublemakers, flatten them. If they're fighting their way in, I want them out. Getting the yard into the trucks is our highest priority.
Back to the voice on the TV. Don't go, Scardulo, don't! Nobody who goes downstairs ever comes back! That Sancta woman's gone crazy. I saw her kill everyone in a public bathroom, and now she's after our lives! As waves of screams and shrieks emanate from the TV, the 7 or 8 soldiers in the one cramped surveillance room all look at each other in dismay. Good news, defenders in the surveillance room haven't noticed our drones. Most hostages inside are in shock, and it appears the defenders have robbed them too. But at least there are no casualties, and emotions seem manageable. Defenders have noticed something's not right downstairs. I assume they reported to the superiors just now, but clearly none are willing to leave what must seem like their safe little panopticon. Good news then, indeed. You keep monitoring them. I'll contact Ella. We'll discuss countermeasures. Hey, Gabi, what's going on? What the hell was all the ruckus downstairs? I don't know. Don't know my ass. You spent long enough. Quit dawdling. I'm just minding my surroundings. I just got to the stairwell entrance. Your voice is trembling, Weapon. What? Did the spooky movie get to you? Shut up. Besides, I don't see you down here. It's always like this. You guys shove everything onto me. Huh? Gabi? Gabi? Back to the TV. No, we can't let anyone else go downstairs. Weren't you watching in the surveillance room? That Sancta madwoman didn't even have to touch her. She's just unloaded into the receiver when Scardulo picked up and turned her into a pile of The sobbing begins.
What's the situation? Have you figured it out?
Sir, we sent a man on recon and he just suddenly stopped responding.
You useless sacks!
Sir, how about you send someone else to the first floor? We really can't spare a single man.
No response means you keep sending people down, or I stop on the second floor to shoot you all dead before heading down there myself.
Nobody move! Out! Empty. Every scout we've sent has gone missing. One by one. Maybe the first floor's haunted?
What an imagination you have. Get a little sleep for now.
Who the... Hey, Ramon? Ramon, you gotta say something. Dropped again. That's the fourth one. 4 times, 4 men. Every time, as soon as they get downstairs, they just No one picks up on that sentence. The terminals have all been tossed into one corner of the room. On occasion, the indistinct bellows of El Capitan emanate from the pile, but nobody is giving them a response anymore. Maybe it's because they went one at a time, so we were just feeding them one by one to, So, how many do you want to doom each time? Back to the TV. That Sancta madwoman, her mind's not right. She's a homicidal maniac. She's outside the door. She's smiling at us through the access surveillance cam. Mayo, just hang the intercom up. She can't get in. She's pointing the gun at me. She's pulling the trigger. All she can do is wreck the cam. Just calm down. A gunshot rings out. What the... Mayo? Dead? Is that a bullet hole? How about we watch a different tape? The two stare at each other with slackened gazes for a moment before the worn-out soldier gets up, travels to another corner of the room and grabs a random tape to shove into the recorder. The Art Investor here from Casimir's. Let's welcome our guest today, Mr. Raynel Kowalski, the new star of Dossoles' art scene. What did you put on this for? Are you sick? I didn't know they taped the TV on this one. Switch it out, switch it out! Hello, hello, pleased to meet you new faces, and it's been a whole day, old faces. It's me, your host for this program, Yuri. I don't do this, but I'm begging you, switch it again. Listening to this presenter makes my brain hurt. These 3 tapes are all we've got. The security guard just watches these 3 tapes on repeat? What do you find if you open up his brain? Soup? Today's episode is a special for all you tourists here in Dossoles for the first time. The worn-out soldier firmly punches the eject button. Let's just finish watching the movie. You heathenly devils, your day of reckoning is come. I'm warning you, my grandpa's a big deal in Castle. You wouldn't want to see his witchcraft even in death. Don't you laugh so crooked. Witchcraft!
When the firmament is filled by sunlight, when all dark across the land is disappeared without a trace, she that is the twin moons will fall upon your cage-beast cell. The dark will gush forth into your eyes, and there you will meet your demise.
Inhabiting Gemini.
Shuffling amidst from the center of the room, a single soldier, biting his lip, shivering head to toe, hands clenched tight, turns his gaze away from the screen, and with a shudder over his shoulder, he sees inside a room out of nowhere a bizarre woman. He sees that woman's complexion and her hair both just as pale. He sees that woman point at him with a tremendous firearm, the likes of which he's never seen before. No surveillance cam needed now. Those etched bullets can pierce straight through his heart in an instant. He sees that woman standing there, and yet it is as though she's somewhere else entirely, as though she doesn't even draw a breath. He sees that woman whose head is covered by a halo.
Don't you look back! Don't look back, because I am right behind you!
The soldier that has looked back lets out a breathless wail, leading the others to nervously follow where his gaze has gone.
There's no such thing as ghost!
The soldier's senses tell him his shot landed, but the bolt meets no obstruction as it continues its trajectory, passing straight through the woman's body. Just like that, she vanishes, and only the afterimage of the halo above her head still.
Ah! Sir? Report! It's a Sancta! The enemy's a Sancta with spatial movement arts. She's a homicidal maniac, her mind's not right, and she can shoot people dead through surveillance cam! Clear. Clear. I didn't think just turning the lights out when the Gemini got hit would be enough to spread that much panic.
Meanwhile, on the TV in the corner of the room, the Sancta continues the silver screen massacre.
Kill, kill, kill! I'll cut off your horns and hang them as chimes upon the lantern itself. Thank you all so much. If you're after anything in terms of art investments, please be sure to let me... Stop wasting breath. Beat those feet. Right. Who's that you're carrying? He got beat up for resisting and he's still concussed. Faster if I give him a ride. Wow, nice to see some tough stuff among these guys. By the way, we're in exhibition hall number 2 of the Galleria right now. Did you get to see that manuscript you wanted? Completely forgot about that. Evacuating all these people. Manuscript? A Minnow and Bard's pamphlet says it's the highlight of the collection for Hall 2. Know where it is? I got sight of it just now. It's on the other end of the hall. I can take you over if you'd like. Lead away then. Sir, you can put me down now. You've concussed, aren't you? Just point away, it'll be faster. Evac of all hostages almost complete. Things went smoothly thanks to your Gemini replicator. I didn't know we'd get a break that lucky. It was just meant to be bait, that's all. I was expecting they'd unload all their firepower on the replica, like the community people did.
All I can say is it took up a good position, and those defenders chose a good movie to pass the time.
Defenders outside the gallery are all swept now. What do we do next? Head to the 3rd floor and rescue Ernesto?
Wait up! You're whatever. You can't go any further that way.
What happened? Oh, Mr. Milos. Not with Renel after all then?
No.
Situation's urgent. Tell us anything surplus after the fact. You need to leave the Galleria ASAP.
You're not going to interrogate me for any useful information?
We're out of time for that.
I want to make a deal. I'll give you some information, and I'm hoping that after you have this information...
We can rescue Renel?
Yes.
Mr. Milos, if Renel hadn't set up the bombs, this terrorist attack may never have come to fruition in the first place.
Renel couldn't wire the entire Galleria with bombs on his own. He suggested the idea, that's all. I imagine you know who carried out the deed. I know the timing of the bombs and how to most efficiently disarm them.
And that's how you plan to coerce us?
How could I? You are the type to suffer coercion.
I'm just hoping my willingness to cooperate can pull together a lifeline for him. Alright, tell us what you know then.
They're time bombs, set to go off this morning at 10 AM. If you want to stop them, you need to take care of 4 nodes along the detonator line. One of the 4 is in the basement, one is in a dark room on the 3rd floor, one's on the balcony on the 6th floor, and one is in the ventilation shaft in Renel's own office.
Zone's almost through.
The one in the basement is most complicated. I suggest one of you go there with me.
I will.
Good. Techno, take the others. Keep searching for any more places where hostages might be hiding. Diaz, Catapult, you handle one each of the 3rd and 6th floor nodes. Doc, Iana and I will keep heading for the top. We'll buy more time to disarm the penthouse node. The 3rd floor dark room is relatively hard to find. It's right above this hall, effectively, but getting there is a nightmare. I need pen and paper to draw a quick map of the route.
No need, I'll take it.
Ernesto? Leave the dark room to me and Arletta. The 6th floor node is in the stairwell. There's a wall that'll look suspicious and be very easy to break down.
Leave that to me.
Ooh, I'm finally here and it's just you 2 left. So, how do you feel seeing the manuscript, wait, why are you carrying him now?
As soon as he saw the manuscript, he cried so hard he couldn't even breathe and eventually passed out from his tears. It was all I could do to bear him on my back instead.
He passed out? Doc! Doc! We need you! Someone's fainted here!
He's fine. He just cried himself out. His emotions likely overwhelmed him upon seeing the manuscript of his dreams. Let him rest for a while in fresh air and he'll be fine.
If you say so.
Miss Ella, that's every card up my sleeve. It's all yours now. Noted. What happens if we fail? What if we aren't able to rescue him? In that case, I'll stay behind and keep him company. I hope you can save the others before then, Miss Ella. I don't want any more people than necessary in here.
Right, I've pulled the metal casing off. Inside, there's a total of, Milos, you crackpot! There's 12 whole bomb wires here! What? The one in the basement has over 40 connections? Whatever, I'll settle this later. Right now I just need to de-wire one by one, right? Yeah, got it. Unscrew as fast as possible, half connected. States can send the explosives run away easy. Understood. How's things on your side? Small band of resistance on the 4th floor still. Wow. Dia stops talking, wipes the sweat off his forehead, and focuses on dealing with the chaotic nest of wires at hand. He has to decouple fast and unscrew the connectors right after, using an insulator to cover up the naked wires and avoid any short circuits. In a trance, his days with the Sinya's army flowed through his mind, where his job was always to secure the connectors in. Diaz furrows his brows and smacks his lips, hands never stopping. What happened then has nothing to do with now. Now he's no more than a firefighter in the middle of bomb disposal. The wires are more or less decoupled by now. Just 2 left, and all risk of explosion in this area is gone. He's gotten a handle of how to most quickly twist these connectors off. Push down for the first half, spin slowly, then start turning with all his might for the second half until it's off. He counts down the rotation on the second connector. Now just 7, 6, 5. Seize that old man! 2 of El Capitan's men charge for the old firefighter with sabers in hand, while 3 crossbows are poised on the floor above. The old firefighter's hands freeze upon the connector, and for a spell, he's somewhat not sure if he's meant to twist one way or the other.
Oh my god, what a cool scene, but also what the hell, random Eureka video on on a tape somewhere? That was beautiful. That is a random ass thing I did not expect to get to read about in this story, but oh my god, that whole scene in that monitoring room, holy shit, that was so good. Also, so fun to record. I will not lie, that was super fun to record. Especially the crazy Sancta chick on TV that they were watching, the murder flick. That was cool, but damn. Nice thinking of Iana there to modify her hologram to have a little halo above her head, just to play into the whole thing that they were watching on TV, just to stoke their flames a tiny bit. Mwah. Perfect. And that goddamn CG was cool as hell. But yeah, anyway, before we continue, we have one new enemy to add here, which is the battlefield observing Mortar Man. A Mortar Man with keen senses, who fires shells embedded with reconnaissance units. An exceptional talent within the Coalition army. Well, that's good for him. He's a tiny bit annoying as a unit, but anyway, we move on to the final battle stage, titled Leap of Faith. What? That's not in the training manual! But yeah, before we head in, quick reminder, we are gonna be doing the cutscene before the battle, then the battle, and then the cutscene after the battle, separately. This one will not be a single scene from start to finish. So, let's begin. Sir, we've brought the hostage.
It really is you, old man.
He put up a fierce fight and even wounded one of our men, but we didn't hold back. We made him bleed.
Alright, you did a pretty good job out there. Now get back to work. What is it?
Capitan, the fact that this old man made it up to the 6th floor means that there must be a lot of them. We might not be able to,
Might not be able to what? Let me be clear with all of you. If this doesn't come together, we're done for!
One other thing. I have no idea what this guy was doing with all these wires running inside a wall.
Stop asking questions and get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Diaz. What brought you and your man over to the Galleria? You already know the answer to that, Matteo. We've rescued the hostages, and your minions have been taken out. It won't be long until all of Dossoles knows that it was you who orchestrated and staged this terrorist attack. Basically, you're finished. You can't fool me. You can't think you're going to ship those art pieces for a quick buck, can you? Listen, all of the trucks you brought, only a single one is loaded, and we've already got the driver and guard. Your get-rich-quick scheme is ruined. What? If you don't believe me, just ask the man you sent downstairs. We already knew about the bombs, so let's wrap things up here before they blow. The bombs. Raynell, when are your bombs supposed to go off? Give me the time. Tell me when the bombs go off, Raynell. Talk! Are you a deaf mute now? If you're that desperate to get blasted to pieces, I can fulfill your wish right here and now! 10 o'clock! Give it up, Matteo. You'll better figure out what you're going to do, because there is not much time left. If you have a shred of sanity left, let me out of these cuffs. There are 4 bomb caches in the building, 3 of which we have under control. They'll be defused in no time. We're short the one in the ventilation shaft of Raynell's office. Miserable old man, if I find out you're lying to me, you're dead meat!
The Capitan swears viciously and grabs the terminal before striding over into the shadow by the wall of the office. The old firefighter looks up at the sky. Raynell finds his usual posture, leaning comfortably beside a huge painting. An awkward silence lingers over the balcony. Diaz.
So you can still speak after all.
How do you know when the bombs are supposed to go off? Who told you?
Why? Are you upset you can't use explosives to turn your investors' money into scrap paper?
It doesn't make a difference. There's another node in the ventilation shaft. It might not be enough to destroy the artwork downstairs, but it is enough to turn this whole gallery into rubble and send that money up in smoke.
It's also enough to end the lives of the men up here on the balcony.
In the face of what I'm about to accomplish, does that really matter? Diaz! Though she has already steeled herself, Ella can't help but feel a chill grip her heart the moment she sees what's in front of her. A large hole has been dug out on the side of the stairwell, and the multitude of metallic appendages protruding from it sprawl over the ground, a number of them crushed by people who had fallen to the ground. But even more conspicuous is the blood spilled on the floor of the stairwell. A trail of blood that has already begun turning black around the hole it emerges from extends all the way upstairs. Before Ella can pick up her terminal to report the situation, the ground beneath her suddenly starts shaking. Oh no!
Ella, what's going on up there?
It's as you feared. The explosives in a half-connected state went out of control and started detonating, causing a small-scale collapse.
Are you hurt?
I'm fine, but the site of the explosion doesn't look good. It might get in the way of... Ella walks down a few steps before she can finish her sentence. The gravel and rubble tightly choking the stairwell comes squarely into view.
What happened just now? What exactly is the situation up there?
The collapse caused by the explosion has completely sealed off the stairwell between the 5th and the 6th floors. Considering that Renel Bastard designed only one stairwell to the upper levels of Galeria Cristalva, and his elevator is out of commission, I'm cut off from the rest of you. Doc and I are here at the explosion too. My god, what is this?
Solutions first. Can the stairwell be cleared with the tools you have?
Ella tries to push the large slab of concrete in front of her. Not easily.
Wait for me. I'll be there in a second. Techno and Milos are also on the way. We're going to find a way to clear the rubble.
But it's 9:35 right now. We're running out of time. I'll break through and make my way up. You guys follow after me as soon as you clear the rubble. If you can't do that in time, I'll at least find a way to get Diaz out safely. Wait, Ella! That's way too dangerous!
Think this through carefully, Ella. I'll give it to you straight. Clearing through the debris might take longer than expected.
My point exactly. We can't sit around waiting for Diaz to get blown to pieces, can we?
Are you sure you can do this?
Of course. I trust all of you, and I also trust in myself.
Sounds good to me.
Iana, Doc.
Iana smiles wryly.
Looks like nobody can stop you.
Please be careful.
Thanks. Static. My communicator seems like it's about to die. Fuze, after we get out of this mess, make sure to charge it up for me.
I'm about headed to this stupid place. Climbing stairs on my first day, and now I'm still climbing stairs on my last. If you want, I'll pick up the pace. Also, what was that loud noise with the tremors just now? Seemed like the whole building was shaking. Quit wasting time, hurry up and head down! The soldiers, eager to head downstairs, suddenly run into Ella in the not-so-wide corridor. Both sides immediately raise their weapons. Ella aims her muzzle at the leader, but her target is the only one among the soldiers who does not respond. Out of the way, Renel's bodyguard! We're short on time!
What a coincidence. I'm in the same boat.
Wait, didn't El Capitan tell us to... Shut up! Bodyguard, you saw the hole in the wall and those wires on the 6th floor, didn't you? What is that?
Explosives. Renel planted enough explosives in the building to flatten the whole place. Now, out of my way.
Coño, I knew it! The irate soldier heads down the stairs with increased urgency, while the others stand there in a daze, not having grasped the link between the art gallery and the bombs. Ella also pays them no heed. She tries to push past the group of soldiers with her shoulders. Oh, hold on! This isn't right! Stop that woman right now! Hurry! Despite their bewilderment, these soldiers still subconsciously spring to carry out the order, grouping up to surround Ella.
What are you getting at now?
Coño! The path right under us is blocked! You know how to get out of this place, right? Take me with you! Hurry! Otherwise we're both going to die here! Ella swears under her breath. The man in front of her clearly can't be reasoned with, yet she's the one caught in the most disadvantageous position. I finally got through. Hurry up and report, now! Concha tu madre! Did everyone go deaf today? Sir, have you known about the explosives in the art gallery this entire time? It was news to me too. Just give me your report now. We have ways of dealing with the explosives. There is nothing to report. What? If I had to say something, it'd be that the only staircase going down is completely sealed off. Over. The soldier slams the communicator into the ground in a fit of rage.
No one is taking orders from El Capitan anymore, so you'll get us out of here, right? You must know the way out! You've got it wrong. I'm going upstairs to save a life, not running for my own. Drop the act already! There's no way you're fooling all of us! You must know the way out! The leader's words become more and more jumbled, but the rooted soldiers start to understand, one after another. Laying the Gersbot mines, getting out of the blast zone, then swiftly coursing her way out before the soldiers can act. Ella has planned it all out in her head. Her actions might invite another group of pursuers, but there is no other option. With each second she wastes here, Diaz's peril continues to grow. Grenade out! Brace for impact! At almost the same instant the order leaves her lips, Ella leaps and vaults over the stair handrails. Just on the other side of the ignored wall, a grenade soars through the air and finds a place to lodge itself, ripping apart the surface. These soldiers, their attention drawn away by Ella, do not notice the wall behind them until they are bowled over by a surge of shattered bricks, sweltering heat, and shockwave. Before they can turn their weapons to the gaping hole in the wall, or even stand, the well-trained squad has already rushed in under the cover of their ballistic shields. Go! Go! Go!
Laying suppressive fire.
Hostile down. Stragglers at 3 o'clock. Hostile down. One more below us. Watch for friendly fire.
Clear.
Good work. Ella, are you alright? Cohen, Tina, Kutz, Alexander. See, I told you Ella would be inside. We couldn't have come at a better time. Looks like we have a good number of stragglers on our tail outside the stairwell. How's the situation on your end? I was just on my way to the roof to free the hostage. Explosives go off at 10 o'clock. Where are the others? The smaller explosion before sealed off the only staircase. Understood. We'll trace your steps after we finish off the hostiles pursuing us. Hey, thank you all so much, really. Words aren't enough.
To be honest, Diaz, I was rather fond of what you people were doing in the street art community. And you think now is the time to bring that up?
If not now, when? Which side would you take on the subject of explosives?
You've lost your mind.
I'm being serious. You've got some good stuff over there.
Are you not afraid of death at all?
I've already fulfilled my life's calling. What is there to be afraid of? Then again, you seem pretty composed yourself. At least nothing like that lily-white captain over there. Why is that?
I found a place where I truly belonged, and lived out a long enough life there. If I manage to survive this mess the two of you join hands to make, I'd like to see my community rise again from the ashes. If not, all I can say is, too bad.
You have that much confidence in the street artists?
Simple answer. They're my family, and I know them well. As long as we're together, anything is possible. What? Do you not have any people like that around you?
I did, but when we were together, we only ever did what I wanted.
Matteo, your people should have told you what you need to know on the phone, so you should understand the situation. Hurry up and let me disarm the node. At least that way neither of us has to die. Not going to happen, old man.
Matteo turns to Renel, who is leaning to the side, a somewhat twisted expression on his face as he grabs a golf club.
Renel, You wouldn't want your carefully crafted fireworks show to go to waste, right? We'll make a 2-in-1 deal. You promise me that you'll blow this place to bits at the scheduled time, and I'll let you and the old man over there hold on to your lives. I know you're the only person who can access the elevator in your office. Nobody else, not even Milosh. Now, all you need to do is give me the elevator key and let me go down, and I'll let you and the old man leave. Considering... Matteo glances at the clock above his head. It reads 9:50. We have plenty of time. Don't go quiet on me now. You two were so chatty a minute ago. Raynell blinks a few times. You really want me to say what I think? Of course. Matteo, do you know my greatest fear? What I'm most worried about here? The elevator key, now. My greatest fear is that the filthy blood flowing out of your corpse could seep into the rubble and pollute all the art. Shut up and give me the key! Matteo, stop! What are you doing? Don't move or I'll mess you up too. It's fine, Diaz. Let this sad little man blow off some steam. The key. Don't make me say it again. You know, Matteo, I just thought of the perfect analogy. I didn't ask you. You're like a bloated burden beast that has broken into a solemn memorial hall, stinking up the whole place without a care in the world, so proud of yourself as you watch everyone cover their mouths and noses with their handkerchiefs. You feel like you're the one in control, since they're all acting that way because of you. Just like right now, you think that as long as you offer me a deal, I'll give in to your coercion because I'm desperate to escape. You think that old Diaz and I will watch you disappear down the elevator and despair as we struggle to get downstairs. Isn't that right? Unfortunately, at the end of the day, a burden beast is nothing more than a domesticated animal. I said, shut up. If you're in that much of a hurry to make it downstairs, I suggest jumping down the elevator shaft. Shut up! In a fit of rage, Matteo strikes Raynell with a heavy blow to the back. Diaz, his hand still bound, tries to rush up to Matteo, but is kicked away. Don't get too excited. The two of you can settle down. After all, we're going to become monuments to Galeria Kristallova in a few short minutes. I said, shut up! Matteo lifts the golf club in his hand high up into the air again, this time taking aim at the back of Raynell's head. Frag grenade out! Throwing flashbang. Who's that? For a moment, a loud boom and a blinding light filled the spacious balcony. After the dizziness and tinnitus gradually fade away, the people on the balcony see a woman, furious yet nevertheless silent, step out from behind the wall. There once was a painting there, now replaced only by the smoldering remnants of a frame. The canvas, blasted to pieces, swirls around the woman as if her silent rage had converged into a firestorm. Successfully broken through to the balcony on the top level of the art gallery. 3 individuals on the balcony: Diaz Gonzalez, Reynel Kowalski, and a sad little clown. Everyone, cover me. This will be our final mission.
Oh my god, put this shit into my veins. Oh, sorry. But yeah, holy boatload of cool shit happening in a row, Batman. From the OG Team Rainbow jumping in and finally appearing in the story. I was waiting. I was like waiting. Are they actually gonna be in this story? Are they actually just maybe gonna be mentioned or seen right at the very end? But nope, they have their own bombastic entry. Damn. Damn is all I can say. Holy shit. Also that entry through the wall where a painting was apparently for Ella, just everything in flame around it. Yes, put that shit into my veins. She is pissed. She is pissed and she's ready to kick his nuts in. All right. But before we go into our battle, we have 3 new enemies here to introduce, including the boss, of course. The first one would be the Battle Line Advance Guard. It says heavily armored personnel in charge of advancing the front line, typically made up of grumpy old veterans who take out their anger towards their superiors on anything standing in their way. Well, that's nice. Venting much? The second one would be Mateo's Bodyguard. Mateo's most trusted bodyguard. Very few military leaders have such individuals around them, but they often fail to appreciate how precious such loyalty really is. And then of course we have Capitan Mateo. Capitan Mateo of the Coalition Army. He refuses to recognize the dead end he stands at, and employs violence against anyone who reminds him of that. Good, another person who has a short fuse. Anyway, let's get into our battle, shall we? So, this will not be the cleanest run. I did try to include only the Team Rainbow members, but considering I'm trying to literally get every single one of these guys at least to E2 right now, and they have eaten, as you can see, they have eaten all of my EXP tickets. They're a bit underpowered to do this solo as much as I've tried, so they will have help. They will have help from 2 other characters that are appearing in the story, plus some Black Steel stuff will be part of the agenda, so why not, right? But anyway, as always, I will be letting the majority of the battle run for on 2x speed until the boss enters phase 2, and then I'm gonna let it play out on regular speed because that's the boss's second phase, and a lot of shit is gonna be happening in in literally a very narrow alley. But yeah, anyway, here comes the battle. Enjoy!
Get going! Quickly! Jim. Let's go! Clear! That will slow them down. Go for me. Stay close.
悪いけどここは通せない。
On your guard. Here's a memento. Watch for the blast!
Located target.
視界良好
Watch for the blast! Eat, six!
サンダーストーム
Target spotted! Here's a memento.
Try not to get yourselves hurt.
攻撃は専門外なんだけどな
Target acquired.
Nice. You are all there.
もうそれ以上近づかないで
Ejim.
悪いけど、ここは通せないんだ。
Here's a memento.
警戒態勢を維持します
Stay out of sight. Watch for the blast.
いい気分 射撃許可を求めますお仕事だ
Stay out of sight. Don't let them get the drop on you. Target spotted. Eat, six! Setting up.
Yes, here.
Located target.
Stay close. Setting up.
Reloading.
Watch for the blast.
攻撃は専門外の視界良好
Don't move.
Mission accomplished
I'm sorry. Was I too fast for you?
Well, that were two things that just popped up there. Nice. That's for the future. But anyway, also a very appropriate operator to get on the victory screen. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, that fight can be quite the clusterfuck when you're trying to do with rainbow units mostly, and well, they're all a bit under level and under mastery, maybe, who knows, and under module. I need to get on the module game again. Anyhow, we have the afterscene now, so let's head into that and enjoy.
Well done. Well done. But now what? What will this accomplish? Now all of us are doomed to die here together.
Ella ignores the man who lies collapsed on the ground and howls like a beast in the throes of death as she swiftly walks over the edge of the balcony. We're going to bend the rules a bit for the next part. I'll grab one of the hostages and rappel through the windows below, and I need a volunteer from us to do the same. Well, shoot! Forgot to bring the stuff with us when we left Rhode Island. Seriously? Calm down, I was just cracking a joke. But there's a better way. What better way? Put this on. It's a multifunctional jet gliding backpack we had Closure make for us back at Rhode Island. Looks like one of those life vests you can get on airplanes. That was the inspiration for its design, but as for what it does, thanks to Closure, it not only expands into a glider for distance, but also has a jetpack functionality for landing. And you're sure this thing works? How else would we have been able to get inside this building from the 6th floor? In any case, put it on, give the handle at the bottom a good pull, leave the top one alone, and it'll get you safely to the ground. This one's yours, Ella. Thanks for the help. Mr. Diaz, this one's for you. The old firefighter neatly straps the backpack on himself. And as for Mr. Raynell here... Blitz shoots Ella a questioning glance, but Ella simply shrugs her shoulders. I promised someone that I'd save this guy's life if I had the chance. Then this one's for you. Raynell catches the backpack but simply stares at it without putting it on. Sir, I think you should put it quickly. I like jokes as much as the next guy, but it's best not to joke around too much with your life on the line. Perfect. I recall that Ella over there said not too long ago she couldn't protect a man who plays jokes with his life. Back then I said that she had the wrong idea, since I still had work to do. But now, my work is all finished, so... Does it really matter if I joke around with my life? Just put the damn thing on and stop being an idiot. Raynell shrugs as well before putting the backpack on. Follow my lead. Everyone who hasn't used one before, pay close attention. Raynell retreats 2 steps, watching Blitz plummet from the edge of the balcony, bobbling around in midair as he flutters his way down. Next up is Diaz. The tall man with the accent somewhat similar to Fuze's pats him on the shoulder before helping him pull the handle. The people on the balcony leave one by one until only Raynell and Ella remain. Raynell still seems to be hesitant, so Ella activates both of their jetpacks before pulling Raynell to leap off the balcony. Wait! Raynell! What are you doing? As I said, what's wrong with joking around with my life? Raynell takes off the backpack and goes into freefall. Ella's shout resounds in his ears as she seems to grab onto his leg for a moment, but gravity quickly pulls him into its embrace. Raynell does not know whether it is the swimming pool or cold concrete that will greet him at the end of his trip, but this time he has no safety rope or backpack. He tries to taste the difference between his weightlessness in this moment and bungee jumping, whether or not he is trembling, and whether this trembling is commensurate with the destruction he has wrought. But before he can form any conclusions, he feels a round object squeeze its way into his hand, followed by a blunt pain in his back. Forced to open his eyes against the strong wind, Raynell vaguely catches a flash of Originium arts, simultaneously feeling a number of small, hard balls pressing against his body in a struggle against gravity. Golf balls? He does not know if he was suddenly gripped by an urge to survive, or if the golf balls are exacting one last insult upon him. But whatever the case, Raynell accepts it. The golf ball in his hand emits a similar light, drawing an increasing number of other golf balls in the vicinity towards his back like magnets, slowing his fall. Raynell, after plunging into the swimming pool, bobs up and down a few times in the water before finally floating to the surface. More precisely, a mat of densely packed golf balls is floating atop the water's surface, with Raynell lying on his back atop it. He stands up steadily from the floating golf ball mat, even hopping back onto dry land in a single step. Milos! Milos! Where are you? I know you're here! Ella, where's Milos? No idea. Haven't heard from him. Stand still. Where do you think you're going? I need to find Milos. I need to get to the bottom of this. You think you can just walk away? What are you going to do, arrest me? Nobody here has that authority, but you should at least give an explanation to the people swept up in this situation. Swept up? I never intended for any of you people to be swept up in the first place. This was meant to be an artwork of destruction, harming nobody but the investors who deserve it. Mateo, drunk of his ambitions, and Diaz, who can't mind his own business. Oh, and of course you. Your people were responsible for bringing us, step by step, to the situation we are in now. What does that make you, then? An honorable rebel? An artist? Why, both, of course. I'll give it to you, you certainly are a rebel. But there's not an honorable cell in your body. You are rotten to the core. What was that stunt you pulled on the balcony? Throwing away your only shot at being rescued was your idea of rebelling? What do you think death is? A way to show how world-weary you are? Is it cool to tiptoe around the brink of death? Making me, Milos, and all the people who still care whether you live or die worry? Is that your idea of rebellion? You're grasping at straws just to give yourself a way to vent your frustrations. Sure, of course you disagree. You think it's all a bit of good, dumb fun that doesn't matter in the end, and wasting other people's invested money was your real fun of rebellion. Ah, yes, won't someone think of the investors' money? You must have a fantastic solution that doesn't involve anyone getting hurt. Don't you know, nobody will see your explosions as any lamentations of art. All they'll see is a raving lunatic. You've got your father's inheritance money, you've got dozens of ways to express yourself, to satirize, to rebel, but you've chosen the laziest option, the one least likely to ever reach any hearts. That's simply their inability to understand. What's the point of your so-called art and rebellion if nobody can understand it? You hate your father, sure. But have you actually thought through how to really rebel against him? Or are you empty gestures of rebellion enough for you? Huh. Who even cares at this point? Probably only you. You're awful. As if that's news to you. Oh no, I always knew you were an awful jackass through and through. You're allowed to care about nothing, that's your prerogative. But Milos cares. He went so far as to tell me what happened to your mother, just to get me to help you. Milos? He told me that your mother was a true artist, and that you used to take after her when you were younger. Used to? What else? Do you think you resemble her in the slightest now? A man who loves art would destroy the work of countless masters just to show how much of a rebel he is. Art can be for truth, for good, for beauty, for fighting evil, or just for art's sake. Doesn't matter. It means something different to everyone. But if making your so-called art means burning everyone else's work, and maybe even their lives, isn't that just pure evil? A round of explosions, a landscape of wreckage, a lamp of chaos. Is that the art you say you're dedicating to everyone? Ask yourself, what would your mother have thought of all of this? Would she be proud of what you've done? Seriously, Raynell. Grow up already. Ella throws a punch, and it lands squarely in Raynell's face. Raynell's whole body wobbles, and he falls straight back into the swimming pool. Ella steps away from the side of the pool, but Renelle still feels the gaze of another pair of eyes. A blurry figure seems to be standing on the other side of the pool, looking at him from afar. He cannot discern if the look on that man's face is one of concern or sadness. The morning sun is dazzling, and he can't see clearly, but he feels with certainty that the gaze resembles his mother's. He turns his eyes toward the sky, no longer looking at that figure. The man lingers for a moment before leaving quietly, wearing a sorrowful expression. Perhaps he never would be the son who makes his mother proud. Perhaps that man would not be willing to remain at his side. In the end, he is still alone. When he thinks of this, all the paranoia and grievance that had tormented him all this time suddenly seem insignificant. He left in the end. In this moment, that is the only thought on Renelle's mind. Everything inside taken care of? Yes. The Dossoles police sure took their sweet time, but they rushed over very quickly the moment they heard the danger had passed. Especially when they say, just leave the rest to us, really makes them seem like the most reliable force in the world. Huh. What about the block stairwell? Did they clean that up too?
They have some people who specialize in originium arts for that purpose. Feels a bit like cheating.
Huh, you'll get used to it soon enough.
I'm curious though, how did you come to show up at the exact time, precisely on the floor above the blockage point?
The timing was pure coincidence. As for why we managed to thread the needle location-wise, Tequila sent a message to the mayor, and at the same time she reached out to us. When we arrived at the mayor's office, she was already observing the scene live from multiple angles, both inside and out. Wait, she had eyes on the inside among the hostages?
More or less. She told us a frontal assault would work, then generously gave us the green light to jump in from Dossoles' tallest building. In fact, we wanted to drop in right on the balcony to give that captain a good scare, but didn't have the altitude to make it. Gonna work with what you have.
The assembled crew turns to look at the balcony on the top floor of the art gallery. The fires have already been extinguished, and all that remains visible is the captain's limp arm, dangling precariously in the air.
Looks like the guy's luck ran out.
Before Doc can finish speaking, the arm suddenly springs to life, fingers curling as they claw at the air, seemingly being dragged away by something.
I take it back. He didn't fall off the edge, didn't die in the conflagration, and even managed to get saved by the police in the end. The guy's got the devil's luck.
Ella, the Dossoles PD want you to take Renelle over. I think they want to give you a special thank you letter and put you on TV or something. I have to be seen on TV with Renelle? Forget it. Yeah, that's what Ernesto said too. He also said, don't get too cozy with the government here unless you plan on settling down in Dossoles. If you catch Miss Candela's eye, things are only gonna get extra tricky for you. Well, have them take Renella away themselves. That works. They don't seem like they have much else on their hands right now anyway. Alright, let's head out and take a look around. The city might be all about the glitz and glamour, but it's not without its flashes of real brilliance. It's not bad. When you stop by Rhode Island to resupply, we'll show you around. Speaking of Rhode Island, Doc, when you visit, I'll need you to put on a few extra pieces of clothes, plus a hood. Then I'll take you to HR to ask for a bigger budget for our team, and you just nod along with whatever I say. Act natural, especially when I call you by your name. Huh? The people who had arrived on Terra previously, as well as Catapult, were stunned for a few moments before all breaking out in laughter. See, there's this Rhode Islander who... Come now, Cohen. Where's the fun in spilling the beans this early? Fair enough. In any case, it's great seeing all of you again. Sure. It really makes me realize just how long it's been. The sky is clear and a gentle breeze blows in from the artificial sea. Though the draft is hot and humid, it is somehow also quite refreshing. A warm, friendly din comes from Galeria Kristava behind her. Where am I? You're finally awake. What are you doing in my house? Oh, wait, this isn't my house, it's a... Shit! Give me a hand! We need to evacuate everyone. There are bombs in the building! You've been out cold this entire time. Both the Capitan and Renel have been arrested. The bombs have been defused, and it's time to celebrate. Huh? Other dazed locals also began sitting up, one by one, looking around in confusion. The exhibition hall has become a lively carnival for artists. Most conspicuous of all is the center of the hall, now converted into a dance floor where people are romping and reveling. And all around the dance floor, without borders, graffiti on self-extending canvas, sprawling cables laid out for rock and roll, popcorn movie reels. Even the food cards are available to all. Artists, hostages, and even the police officers who are here to handle the case stop by. Bro, you've gotta try this extra deep dish demon pepper pizza, fresh out of the oven. They aren't even charging for it. Don't just stand there all stone-faced. This food's so good it's gonna make you cry. Hey, I'm doing you a favor here, and you're still giving me that stink eye? What, you're from Syracuse or something? What does being from Syracuse or not have to do with anything? I just realized you're the little shit who spray painted my police car. Huh, now that you mention it. What's the big deal anyway? Here, try a bite of this pizza first. Huh, if you didn't do a good job getting everyone evacuated, I would drag you down to the station. The police officer takes a big bite of the pizza, and remarkably, a streak of tears actually flows down his cheeks. It's just the pure spice that makes you cry, isn't it? Where are you flying, tired foul beast? Towards tomorrow's wind. Well, I thought you were just another greedy jerk, but it turns out you can rock out after a couple of glasses of wine, huh? What are you on about? I was the lead singer in my alma mater's rock band. If only the folks back home didn't put so much pressure on me. You think I like nodding along and kissing ass? The old fart's not around, right? Let me tell you straight up. That guy loves surprise inspections more than anything else. Picking up what you're doing on your terminal. If you're not working, he takes it straight out of your salary. Last time I shut off my terminal, just as he was coming by, he got mad and started demanding that I turn it back on. But lo and behold, it was nothing but pages and pages of work. He was so mad, he tried to kick my chair.
The hell did you just say?
Huh? You tell me. That's the whole truth right there. Here you go, boss. The drunk man pops open a bottle of beer with his ear. An act that wins him raucous applause, and pours it all over the livid old man. We really struck the jackpot this time. We not only got to see Raynell's announcement, but also visit the Galeria, and now we even got to participate in a pop-up street artists festival. This is probably a bit of an exaggeration, but we might not have had the same luck without Matteo.
Are you serious, amigo?
No, of course not. I was just making an off-handed remark.
We're all adults here, so watch what you say.
Got it. Let's head over to the dance floor. Papa, why are you sitting over here instead of joining in celebrations?
Because I'm getting old, and already had my share of excitement this morning. Wouldn't want to get in the way of you youths.
I'll go do my own thing then.
Go ahead. Have a good time with the others.
Techno shrugs and heads towards the dance floor, her small frame quickly disappearing into the crowd. The old firefighter squints his inebriated eyes, involuntarily tapping along to the rhythm of the music as he watches the never-ending parade of people on the dance floor. That is, until a man approaches him from the other end of the exhibition hall, exuding an aura completely encourageous with the gaiety and joyousness of the event. Hey, Diaz! Congratulations! You got to hold your party at my place after all.
Got a problem with that?
I'm not so stingy, plus I'm not going to let a little provocation get to me.
Sounds nice. Wanna take the dance floor for a song or two?
I'll pass.
Oh, your dance partner isn't here. He doesn't seem to want to dance with you anymore.
Nonsense. What about you then? Are you out here drinking by yourself? Where's your dance partner?
You're asking the wrong guy. If I wanted to dance, I'd have my pick of anyone in this hall right now. Anyone except for you.
Holy shit, well that was a long time coming for these people, I guess. Damn, not gonna lie. Seeing the Rainbow Team members just together and shooting the shit and having fun and just sharing in each other's company, that really tugged a tiny bit on my heartstrings, not gonna lie. Just seeing them back together was beautiful. Also, oh my god, did they really have to call back to the Ash scene from the previous Rainbow story? Like, what the hell? That was a throwback. That Ella would get her own actual scene in the same vein. What the hell? Well, I guess both female leads for both stories got their moment to just let loose and do the old fisticuffs, and that was good. That was definitely good. Anywho, we have one more scene before we move on to our extra little epilogue with the operator record. But first, ST-3, Galleria Restaurant. Tour? Oh, him. Yeah, he's a smooth talker, alright. We wanted to put him in charge of procurement, but we haven't seen him since the first day. Well then, let's begin. If I recall correctly, it's my lunch break now, so any interrogation will have to wait until... I'm not here for that. It's you. What now? Does Rhode Island want to trample on my corpse too? By all means. I'm only here on behalf of Miss Candela to inform you of Dossoles' decision on how to handle you. The Dossoles mayoral office has determined that they will not try you for your crimes. Let me guess, you're handing me over to the coalition government? Matteo's an idiot, but he's still the coalition's representative in Dossoles. I've toyed with him so much the coalition is probably itching to tear me apart. That's an accurate reading of your situation. The coalition government wants to haul you to La Unidad for a trial, just like Matteo. A public trial? Great, I'm looking forward to it. No, Senor Enel. You're being sent back to Casimir's. Come again? The General Chamber of Commerce is pressuring Candela to send you back to Casimir's. come again? Your father's KGCC contacts pulled some strings, and you no longer have to remain in Dossoles. So instead of heading to La Unidad, you can go home. No, I'm not going back. I'm not going back to that utterly despicable, depraved, and deplorable... You don't have a say here, Senor Renel. It's your own reckless actions bringing you wherever your final destination may be. You have to swallow your medicine, be it sweet or bitter.
Old man, you're never going to leave me alone, are you?
Right, there's one more thing. You need to decide where your assets are going.
You say it like I have a choice in the matter. Hasn't Candela already used all the methods at her disposal to move them elsewhere?
There are some, fixed assets that nobody dares to take. Just write any name on this transfer contract.
Fine, I'll just write the name of whoever wanders by next.
Senor Diaz, what are you doing here?
Identifying Mateo's men. The ones who were playing hostage earlier. And you? What did you call me for? Need something?
No.
Adios then.
Say you... anyway, you haven't given a name yet, right? You can always take back what you...
I never go back on my word. Besides, this isn't such a bad choice. Let a genuine art lover have it.
Renel really put that old firefighter's name on it? Yes, I confirmed it one last time as I was escorting him out of Dossoles, and he didn't change his mind. He really inherited none of his father's qualities. Honestly, he would probably appreciate that evaluation. Of course, but I didn't mean it as a compliment.
Lady Candela, your coffee as well as Ernesto's.
The aroma is so strong. What beans did you use for this, Senor Booker?
A triple dark roast blend Lady Candela has been drinking lately. Please enjoy.
Any plans to catch up with old friends now that everything has died down? I wasn't intending to bother anyone before I got to the city, actually. Indeed, you wouldn't have, if that whole ruckus didn't happen, but you know how it is in Dossoles. Never a quiet day for us. Yeah. Just like now, Renel's antics have dealt a heavy blow to the coalition government's influence. La Unidad has been issuing letters of protest, but I can only dream of getting Renel and his assets. Dossoles is not at their beck and call. The other two factions are also itching to get their hands on him. Oh, look at me. I seem to have slipped into a meaningless ramble. No, not at all. This is very important information. Alright, Ernesto. Have a taste and see if this blend is to your liking. It's so strong, but the texture is fantastic. Do elaborate. I can discern each bean's species and aroma, but I can't tell which bean has the biggest ratio in the blend. All three aromas are fighting to come out on top, but soon they'll all converge into a strong and unified caramelized flavor. Precisely. The main selling point of this blend is that the blend ratio isn't set in stone, but you can still get that caramel flavor as long as their proportions are roughly balanced. I see. So, does it suit your taste? Still can't decide? It's alright, the shop is just over there. You can always try a second cup, as long as you come back. They'll even modify the blend to your ideal ratio, or you can ask them to brew you a cup with sparkling water. You're joking. A joke? I wouldn't say so. Because I really am looking forward to seeing what you choose, Ernesto. Yo, Ernesto, your chat with Mayor Candela took forever. I had no choice. We go way back and have too many things to talk about. She must still like you if you guys talk for that long. I guess so. Huh. Always clamping up so fast whenever it's time to talk about you. Fine. Since you're so unwilling to talk, I don't have to ask you. Rafaela won't tell you, even if you ask. How did you know I was gonna ask her? Do you have mind reading arts or something? It's written all over your face. Oh, scary man we have here. By the way, I already knew this morning we would be late, and I appreciate that you've been waiting for me the whole time. But we've already missed our appointment with Diaz, you know? Oh, shit! A General Chamber of Commerce employee. Well then, Mr. Raynel Kowalski, please get in the car while I fetch your luggage. Raynel sits in the back with a blank expression. The door shuts and it feels slightly warm, so he takes off his coat and leans back as he begins to loosen his collar. A strange noise outside the car interrupts him, and he turns to look out the window. The General Chamber of Commerce employee lies on the ground, unconscious. He then hears a tapping noise from the opposite window, and follows the sound to see a familiar face standing outside the car. Raynel rolls down the window and sees a pair of dark eyes. Mind giving me a ride, sir? And where are you wanting to go? Hasn't it always been up to you to decide? You've been following me for a while, so maybe this time you take the lead and decide our destination. Do you really have nowhere you want to go, Milos? It'll be the same as before, no matter where we go, yes? Things are different this time. I'm broke, aside from the 2 suitcases in the trunk. Then I'll drive until our fuel runs out, and we'll go wherever the car takes us. Well, fine. You're the one in charge now. Milos smiles at Raynel and gets into the driver's seat, looking at the other face through the rearview mirror before starting the engine. There is a blend of confusion, delight, and a slight hint of hesitation on Raynel's face. You seem like you have something to ask me. Why did you come back? Why didn't you leave? Don't you already know the answer? Maybe my question was to confirm that answer. Don't be so sure. My patience might run out on you, and you'll find I'll leave pretty soon. But not today. No, not today. Milos looks away from the mirror, starts the engine, and the silver car sets off. Galeria Kristalova's exhibition hall is still the same as it was the other day. Shattered glass cases, scorched ground, cracks in the walls, colorful spotlights, wanton graffiti, and frantic music going wild. Everything is the same, except the additional presence of a big round table in the center of the room. A grill sizzles on the table at the perfect temperature, emanating an enticing aroma. And here we have the cutest picture out of this whole thing. Also, I want to add that 2 things. Fuze without a helmet, still no face reveal, of course. Why would he? Tachanka off screen, of course. And most importantly, Diaz, who looks 30 years younger here than he actually looks in his 2D sprite. What the hell? They de-aged the man. Nice, I guess, for him? Anyway. Well, why isn't anyone ordering? Not hungry? I didn't expect you to turn the place into a barbecue restaurant. Huh!
That building got bombed into a war zone, and the art can't stay here anymore, so I thought we might as well turn it into a sidekick instead of leaving it empty. The TV stations in Dossoles lost their moneymaker right now, so now they've started sticking their noses here and spreading rumors that none of our artists can cook and just survive on dry cactus. So I have to show them what true Bolivarian cuisine is. Then I'll have one of those onion and mushroom meat skewers. Make it 2. Coming right up!
Mr. Diaz is really good at this. I have to be honest, we've traveled all over Terra, but this is the first time we've tasted Bolivarian barbecue. Where have you all been? We started from the Sargonian Desert, and after a brief stay on Rhode Island, where we got our Team Rainbow moniker, we each went off to a few more places. The rainforests of Sargon, the ice fields of Sami, Columbia's mines and cities, villages in the Ursus taiga. Now very quickly here before we continue, all of these places that they are mentioning is pretty much where their respective operator records are taking place. Currently on the channel you can find 3 out of the 4 operator records, so for Frost, Tachanka and Ash, which are pretty much covering what they went through and what they saw on their journeys to those places. Blitz will wait a while because I need to get him from the rerun banner of Ash in a couple of days, but in the meantime I will link the 3 operator records that I currently have for the original members of Team Rainbow in the description of the video, so enjoy. Anyway, continuing. Even so, we've only ever set foot on a small piece of these lands.
My only regret is burying Levi Klitschko under the sands of Sargon along with his mad lab. If you're homesick, you'll have to start thinking of a different way to go back.
Have you found one?
Not even a lead. I guess you wouldn't mind a few more traveling companions on your quest. The more the merrier.
Lord, what is that?
Everyone, let me on behalf of Lord introduce this Ursa specialty beverage.
There is a sudden noise outside the window. The members of Team Rainbow turn their heads full of food and drink towards the source of the noise, wondering what kind of trouble has erupted this time. And then, the first one to realize what is going on shrugs in resignation.
Papa says it's our turn to dance our Volpo Minuet today, so turn off your classical music.
But Techno says she likes our triple meter waltz. Go ask her if you don't believe me. She's over by the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Come over here, Techno. What do you make of this?
Don't bother me with this kind of stuff. If you can spare the time to argue over what music to play, then maybe take a look at my work.
Your work? But your hand?
Oh, just come over here and you'll see.
Wow! You drew this yourself?
I practice a lot, and I'm finally used to drawing with my left hand.
Forget about the doodles and get your butt inside, Techno! You have to try this Ursa specialty beverage before they down the last drop of it! It's truly something else!
And that is it when it comes to this story. I already said it during the part, that little CG there with all of them just enjoying barbecue. That was also kind of, now that I think about it, kind of a bit of a callback to, even though it's a bit happier, more in motion, right? More stuff is happening and not just people tiredly sitting around the table. But that was kind of a tiny bit of a, I guess, a call out for the good old shawarma scene from the, what was it, the first Avengers movie? Kinda, I guess, but a bit more active, a bit more happy, and yeah, that's that. But before we wrap this thing up, we have one more epilogue to do, and that is Ella's operator records, so let's hop to it. And here we are at the operator record for Ella. So before we head in, a quick little intro. This is obviously taking place after the events of the story that we went through. We'll connect back to it and is taking place in Casimir's. So you could say Ella went pretty much to her home territory in quotes. But yeah, before we begin, title says, like the first time. This is her first look at the shiny, sparkling, bloodthirsty machine. And yet she feels like she's seen it before. So then, let's head in.
We will be connecting with 3 other nomadic cities. This will be the prelude to the Casimir's Major. Looks like I picked a bad time to come here.
The ground is damp, as though rain had just fallen. Ella looks up at the darkened sky, but she could not tell whether the sun was being blocked by dark clouds that had yet to disperse, the towering skyscrapers, or the bright advertising boards on the walls that are lit bright like it was midnight.
Even outside tournament season, our abundant sightseeing and shopping attractions will make your trip more than worth your while. Let me see. Visit Swoma Food Company HQ, Swoma Land, Swoma Prime Mall, Swoma Night Expo, and 2 15% off Swoma coupons. Is there no other place that I can go? Is that it?
You should have taken one brochure each from Swoma, Mishko, and Rose Paper Union at the entrance, Miss Ella.
And who might you be?
You were previously employed at Dossoles by Renel Kowalski, whose whereabouts are presently unknown. Where is he now?
I don't know.
Are you sure?
I haven't seen him since I left Dossoles.
Nevertheless, we would much appreciate your assistance. He left behind a considerable amount of assets in Casimir's when he disappeared irresponsibly. As someone who has had dealings with him in Dossoles, your statement will help our cause in a division of his assets, and yours.
You mean I'll get a bunch of cash?
We will compensate you, commensurate with...
Looks like I really came at a bad time. Let me make this clear. I haven't seen him and his fox ears since I left Dossoles. I don't want anything to do with his business or assets.
Ella walks away from the man dressed in black and gets on a taxi by the roadside. In her hurry, she drops the Swoma tourist brochure in a puddle on the ground, dyeing the puddle a bright shade of pink. Why did you come to Casimir's then, if you didn't want to get involved?
Good thing the hotel is not far from the city gates. Excuse me? They're still following. Is there a quiet alley up ahead? Just what I needed. Can't call it a coincidence anymore. First time the modified Grismot mine sees action. No need to thank me.
Come quietly and you won't have to get hurt.
You there! What are you doing?
Who's there?
You awake?
I didn't think you would be able to deal with that guy on your own. Where did he go?
Ran away. Couldn't go after him with you on the ground like that. What's your name? Rafael, I'm a reporter. What about you? Ella. I've heard that name before. You were Raynell's bodyguard in Dossoles, weren't you? Guy's more famous than I thought. Raynell Kowalski always makes great headlines after all.
Rafael takes out a cigarette and tugs it behind his ear.
Can I ask a few questions? Before the incident... Enough questions. Are you able to make it home? Sorry. I'll be going. Time to drop by the Rhode Island office. Here's nothing weird happens from this point on. Make a right there. I said, make a right.
Oh, sorry, I was listening to the tournament results. I made a killing on this one. I'll turn the next corner.
I thought there were no majors going on right now.
Small tournaments happen all the time. There's an arena quite close to here. Would you like to take a look?
Not interested.
Come on, let's go. Everyone who comes here goes there.
Take me to the destination that I asked for. There, you missed another turn.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. Just slow down. The next turn is coming up. I said, slow down.
Ella tries to open the door, but it is locked tight, and the driver continues to look absent-minded. Suddenly, she is reminded of Raynell, who landed safely in a pool after jumping from a great height. This is Kazimierz, not Poland. She is an outsider. Who knows what Originium arts can do in the hands of these people? She glances at the driver's right foot and takes out a gun.
No sudden moves.
What the? Ella reaches out with her foot and stomps on the idle pedal. The wheels lock and skid, but manage to stop before the intersection. A large truck rumbles through the intersection that a taxi would have driven through.
Now I want an explanation. Hey, where did he go?
A police officer? Just a driver who got carried away after winning a few coins. He wouldn't have gotten away if anything happened to you.
I have reason to believe he used Originium arts or some device to escape. I draw the car over. It's right there. You can examine it.
Really? Where is it?
Right there, in the parking lot. It's gone?
Lady, I understand you may have been feeling emotional, but you can't just go around accusing people without proof.
I saw with my own eyes, officer. That truck passed right in front of the nose of the taxi that she was in and almost hit it.
And who are you?
A reporter passing by. There was someone stalking this Miss Ella over here, forcing her to use force.
Get out.
This is going in the papers, I tell you.
You write whatever you want. Now get out.
So you were stalking me too? Alright, I'm sorry. You were Raynell's bodyguard after all. I thought you might have something to offer. And you were hoping I would be thankful for your help when you saw the car accident? Sorry. Wait, Miss Ella. First the stalker, then the accident. Don't you find it suspicious? I don't need you to tell me. I have an idea who the culprit is. Who? Raynell's uncle, Bogdan Kowalski. He had been demanding his share of Szczepan inheritance. With Raynell missing, he probably believed you were here to handle the assets for Raynell and decided to dispose of you. Dispose of? Is Kazimierz a place where you can kill people on a whim? Of course not, but the rich and powerful can always find someone to do their dirty work. Thank you for the heads up. It might be helpful.
Are you leaving?
Quite the contrary. I'm not changing my schedule just because of this. Besides, those who treat human lives so callously need to be taught a lesson.
What are you planning?
Keep looking for clues. There's bound to be something.
There's one right here. Abetting murder.
That's not enough.
It's enough when you have a reporter. I'll be straight with you. Do you want to work with me and teach that old man a lesson?
Did you also work as Raynell's bodyguard?
I'm serious. I have a score to settle with old Bogdan. I was once the chief editor of a newspaper agency under the Rose Paper Union banner. Bogdan hosted an art exhibit 5 years ago, and it was a complete mess. Yet all the media did was lick his boots. I felt someone had to speak the truth, show the public how bad the exhibit was, so I wrote a column criticizing it overnight.
And it never made it to the printing press?
It did. It was well received, and sales of the paper shot up. I thought I was going to get a raise. Here, I kept a copy.
You certainly didn't mince words.
A month later, I learned that Bogdan had been pressuring the agency to fire me, but the company president stepped in and kept me around as a reporter in the field, where I've been keeping a low profile. Ella seizes the reporter up as she folds up the yellowish newspaper and tucks it away.
What are you planning?
Simple. Find concrete evidence that the accident was a murder attempt and seize the initiative.
Bogdan often talks business here. We might learn something if we eavesdrop. Shh, I hear a car. I know that guy, and I know that car.
I'll pick the lock once the driver has gotten off. Keep watch for me.
Let me do it. I know Casimir's cars better. Hey, what's this? Everything in this alley has been turned upside down. There's no point. What's this? A check with Kowalski's signature? Looks like we got lucky.
Of course.
I wonder how long it will last.
Well, did you see the one who tried to recruit you when you first arrived?
I'm checking.
What?
Dad, I lost again. I told you not to be on the tourneys. Hey, where did you get the money? Lear lent me some.
I'm busy and I don't have any money.
But you said you were going to. There, he's wearing a suit like yours.
I see him.
Your daughter?
Huh, yeah. She bets on the tourneys every day. If she doesn't get money from me, she tries to borrow it from somewhere else. Anyway, enough chit-chat. We're the stalkers this time.
Here is what we have so far. A photo of an unidentified device, a check found in an alley, and a photo of the man who spoke to me entering Kowalski Manor. I'm not sure how these constitute any sort of his weakness. If that's enough to convict Bogdan, I'll have even less faith in the judicial system of Casimir's than I do in their law enforcement.
A draft doesn't necessarily have to be sent out.
The same goes for evidence. Don't you understand? I'm understanding less and less by the minute. We'll send him evidence of him hiring killers as a warning, as well as demand compensation. You can use that money to visit the other cities. The cities of the Cavaleriaki Alliance are all the same. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. What about you? Me? I'll take the money and play my trade somewhere else. Maybe go home and start a news agency? I want to put the Rose Paper Union out of business in my hometown. You still want to be a reporter? Why do you think I became one in the first place? Why else would I pick a fight with Bogdan? Isn't that blackmail? So what? He actually tried to kill you! Why stop there then? Why not bring Kowalski down entirely? What the heck are you talking about? You wanted to ask me about Raynel, didn't you? Well, I heard a thing or two about Raynel's parents from a gentleman by the name of Milos, while I was in Dossoles. Milos... Raynel's secretary? Rafal's eyes light up, but the spark is soon covered by his thick lenses. See, you're interested. I don't think those two have anything that can deal a real blow to Bogdan, not even if it's from that Milos's mouth. Stepan and Alicia were a lovely couple, not much of a story there. Milos had a different story. Rafal's lenses could no longer hide the spark in his eyes. He takes out a pen, then tucks another cigarette behind his ears. I don't smoke, but this helps me think when I'm working. Do you know about the damaged statue that was sold for an astronomical price shortly before Alicia passed away? According to Milos, there was in fact no deep meaning behind it, as Stepan had boasted of. Ella narrated the story as told to her by Milos, avoiding subjective sentiments as much as possible. Before phrases like verbal assault and economic control, however, loving couple seems like a bad joke. Good heavens, what about Raynel? He always looked like he respected his father greatly. There is only a twisted hatred for his hypocritical father. Why else would he have blown up his own Galeria Kristalva? He blew it up? That's totally different from the story that's out there. Please, really must know more. I'll pay, Where's the money from? The blackmail? Or the money that Bogdan already paid you? Obviously, His eyes are wide open. Miss Ella, this is no time for jokes. I'm not... Drop the act, Mr. Rafal. Everything that has happened up to this point, the chance encounter, the shadowing, evidence that just dropped from the sky, they're suspicious, but it wasn't out of the question that they could have been a coincidence. You want to blackmail Bogdan Kowalski? A few words from him were enough to ruin your career, and yet you wanted me to blackmail him, in a place where both the police and the courts could be bought. Don't lie to me. I'm not Kazimierzian. You are. Why attempt something that's almost destined to fail? Because you wanted me to come under suspicion of blackmail and get the police and the courts on Bogdan's side. I didn't have a choice. You heard a phone call. I needed the money. Why should I believe you? Heavy breathing. I swear, I may have sold my dignity to Bogdan, but every word I said about my career was true. And the newspaper? You didn't throw it away as soon as the curtains closed, did you?
After a moment of silence, Rafal takes out the yellowish newspaper cutting, folded as neatly as the last time Ella saw it.
I never threw it away. Then it's your turn to fight back. Fight back? The story about Stepan and Alicia is a good one, but what does it have to do with Bogdan? If Alicia's statue was made under coercion, violence and lies, what about the other artworks that Bogdan has? Skurvinsyn! Let me make this clear. This will shake the very foundation of the art market of Casimir's. Renel wanted to do it. It was a roundabout method that almost killed a bunch of people, but in the end, he failed. Why didn't he let the world know? Adopted to protect the father he hated. I know, Miss Ella, I know. Casimir's won't allow it.
He takes out a lighter, hand fumbling as he fetches the cigarette from behind his ear, lights it, and takes it in deeply. His face is deathly pale.
I thought I could keep it there. Sorry, but I must say, Miss Ella, I may not be the first reporter in Casimir's to know about it, maybe not even the first who's tried to bring it to light. But I stand on the same side of the curtain as the shocking truth. Maybe hundreds of people have stood here before, and no one even found their bodies. Shanichito! Screw it! I'm tearing this curtain in half!
Bogdan Kowalski foolishly threatened your life and safety. You acted reasonably in self-defense. Plus, Rhode Island is an important guest of Casimir's. The Chamber has nothing to say about Bogdan. What he wants will never belong to him.
I see.
Now I ask that you honor our gentleman's agreement.
Could I go back on it even if I wanted to? You people had everyone concerned in custody 2 hours before the feature on the Kowalski family hit the press, and made the paper come out with a replacement article within the hour. I learned a lot from Casimir's today.
As we did from you. Less than a month into your visit to Casimir's, you stirred up a storm that almost destroyed an entire industry.
One last request. Can I see Rafał? Where is he?
He is doing well. We can approve your request for a visit if you insist, but we will require further, conditions in our agreement.
Ella, you doing okay? I've been given preferential treatment thanks to some unexpected ties. Is this the new job that the General Chamber of Commerce got you? What do you do now?
Rafał's lip twitches as he glances at his collar, where there seems to be a metallic glint of sorts. He lights a cigarette for himself.
I'm reviewing newspapers prior to publication. Sorry, I always prefer to have it behind my ear, but I needed something to calm my nerves. Is it such a bad thing to get a first-hand look at the process and standards? Terrible. Look at what I have to review every day. The red wine? A good paper, isn't it? Looks like whoever made this decision had a twisted sense of humor. Let's talk about something else. How's your daughter? Is your new income enough to support her gambling? Enough to get the best seats. She's one of the best customers now. It really does sound terrible. It is, but everything is getting better. And what does that mean? It means Casimir's never changes. I'm the only one who does. They're willing to pay me a lot of money. All I need to do is, behave.
Rafał inhales deeply and gazes at the ceiling. This time Ella can see the microphone underneath his collar clearly.
You see that? High-tech stuff. Here to help me behave, just like the salary that I wouldn't even have dreamt of just a few days ago. Not a gadget I dare to get rid of. As for the other, soon I wouldn't want to be rid of it. Dreams and willpower can be worn down. When it's all said and done, everything will get better, and I'll be a model Casimirzian citizen, just like my daughter.
Rafał puts the cigarette out and goes back to his place in a long row of office seats. Ella scans the room. All of them seems to be doing the same work as Rafał. Some look frustrated, some look numb,
and some look around uneasily. How many of them have said Shanichto? Maybe it was just Rafał, who is now winking at her, or maybe it was all of them. Ella gives Rafał an encouraging gaze and glances down at the issue of the red wine in her hand.
Zofia...
Zofia?
Vis/Zofia. Now that's an exciting coincidence.
Excuse me, am I speaking to Miss Ella?
Who are you?
I'm the manager of the Gale nightclub. We would like to inquire into your interest in participating in night tournaments.
What's next? You want me to pay a registration fee?
Perhaps you misunderstood. Oh, you want to talk to our patron yourself? Alright, here we go. Miss Ella, I am the main sponsor of the Gale nightclub and a business rival of Bogdan Kowalski. We would like to congratulate you on your good fortune, and we could not help but notice your outstanding skills and judgment in the face of danger.
Maybe we would have gotten along better if you just said you were shadowing me. It's the tournament this time, isn't it? The night tournaments of the Country of Knights. Round 1 was a draw, Kazimirs. Let's see about round 2.
Alright then, and that would be the entirety of the story. So yeah, the operator record is taking place a bit further along the timeline, so she's essentially... I do not know what the other ones are, because I have yet to record the one for Doc and Iana and Fuze, of course, but I'm gonna guess, just like the OG members, they're gonna go out and explore Terra in their operator records, but we'll see. I haven't seen them yet, so they're gonna be coming up on the channel over the next few days, because as you've seen during the battle there, I do need to E2 a couple of them still, and yeah, they're basically ready. They're all basically 50% trust, so just need to E2 them and we're gonna see, and they're all gonna be going up on the channel over the next couple of days, including Ella's, the usual norm, so just the operator record without the voiceover. The voiceover is exclusive to this, so that's that. But yeah, anyway, time to do the usual quick little ramble about the story and my thoughts and so on and so forth. So for those of you who wanna jump off here and not listen to that one, completely understand it. But please consider leaving a like and maybe subscribing if you're new to the channel, maybe becoming a member to the channel, considering that would also help out quite a lot. And yeah, thank you very much for watching and listening, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. But in the meantime, time to do a quick ramble over the story. And yeah, again, out of all of the collab stories that we had, the Rainbow Six one is still my favorite one, both the previous one and this one. And the main reason, I would say the main reason, besides the Rainbow members being all very lovable characters, is pretty much just the observation point of human beings. I cannot stress this more. The actually having an actual human in the story from actual Earth who can, you know, compare stuff and bring out a bit more details that maybe gets missed a lot of times during normal reads, and maybe even forgotten along the lines. Just having this normal-ass group of human beings see this world and have an anchor point for us, the readers, is kinda neat. I don't really care about the whole isekai shenanigans. I've watched enough isekai anime. I don't really care about it if it's even here existing. I mean, somehow normal-ass humans have to end up here, right? But just having them in the story and having them experience stuff that, you know, we can see stuff when we read the stories. We can get immersed in them. I mean, these are well-written stories overall. They all start very slow, but they all have a pretty good payoff, rather. But yeah, just having these normal-ass humans in this story see this world, explore this world, and bring out little details that are maybe missed along the lines or forgotten is good. And I love it. And the characters themselves are all lovable, and I enjoy every single one of them. They're all cool. And no, I will not be going over to Rainbow Six Siege and playing it. I don't play multiplayer games. That will not happen. But I do enjoy these characters, and I do hope that if there's gonna be, now that we have a second one, if there's gonna be a third collab, cause let's be real here, we need 4 more members to have a full squad, and please, for the love of God, please have actually one of them be a healer. Like, holy shit. This is literally the only thing that this entire squad needs right now. One of the, if they do a third collab, one of them needs to be a healer. Whoever they're bringing in, one of them needs to be just straight up and normal ass healer. No gimmicks. Just give me a healer. So you can put an actual rainbow squad together. But yeah, anyway, that's, if it happens in the future, I would be absolutely stoked. But yeah, story-wise, let's get back to this. So, overall plotline, I mean, this is pretty much a action movie storyline, right? A lot of elements were happening, a lot of movement. I mean, we had military movement, we had people rioting or not rioting, being stoked up to do shit, but a lot of also feelsy good moments, most of them coming again from the Rainbow Squad, just interacting with people and getting to know them is kind of the crucial thing. So, let's go over the characters, shall we? Well, first off, the NPCs of the story are one of our 2 big, technically bad guys of the story, Raynell. Well, what to say, as a bad guy, I definitely enjoyed him more than our box standard, I'm just a military asshole man, El Capitan. I definitely enjoyed him more. That guy had charisma, that guy had moxie, that guy, he was done with life. But life is not done with him, as we see at the end of the story. I do love the fact that he didn't probably ever consider, maybe, or rather, no, actually he did consider it, but he never thought that Miloš would actually, you know, even when all things are said and done, would actually stick with him, even if everything went wrong and shit. Yeah, he does have a family. I hope he actually learns from that and actually grows as a person from there on. I hope, like Ella there said, I hope he actually grows up. I do hope so. I hope he grows over his goddamn stupid shenanigans and bullshit. Because he was interesting. He was fun. Then, as I've just mentioned him, his buddy Miloš, not much to say there. He's his buddy, he's sticking to him, he's very loyal, and honestly, he's someone Raynell doesn't deserve, but he desperately needs someone like him in his life just to steer him in the right direction. But we'll see. If they ever return and ever get mentioned, we'll see what happens. Hopefully they're gonna do right. Mateo, El Capitan. Not really much to say about the guy. He was just a military guy who was put in charge and was trying to steal art, sell art, and get rich quick, right? That's pretty much what was happening. He was just a big asshole. And you know what? Sometimes a story just needs a big asshole. And he was the biggest one, honestly, in the story. Even bigger than goddamn Raynell. Raynell at least had a lot behind him. Meanwhile, this guy was just like, I want money. I want money and I don't care about anybody else. As he's shown right at the end of the story, where he literally just takes a bow and arrow and shoots a bolt straight through his subordinate. Well, that's, I guess, what happens around him. But yeah, not much to say about him. He was kinda, he was okay. Techno, the tiny little cutie, looks sweet. I don't know. I've seen one of you guys say, and I'm probably guessing there's probably more people that want her to become playable. I mean, I would also enjoy it if she becomes playable, but I don't see that happening, sadly. She does have arts and stuff, but I don't think she's gonna be a playable character in the future. She might return in something and get mentioned in something in the future, but I kinda don't honestly see her as a playable character. Especially with her injury right now and stuff like that. She's devoted to art, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But she was a very little lovable character, a little little bundle of dynamite. Just do not call her tiny or a child, and you're fine. You're fine. But I do love that again, the human element that gets, like, actual physical human element that gets brought into the story, that shows you that all of these people, all of these Rainbow Squad people are people with military backgrounds, training. They are buff beefcakes. No matter their gender or their age, they're all very buff beefcakes in their own regards. And a little Durin can knock them out. If you, by the way, I encourage you all, go into their files and look at their like, you know, strength evaluation and the other evaluations that every operator has in this game, and compare to which category of strength they belong into. Just go through your operators and see who overpowers them, and then think to yourself, huh, humans are kind of fucked. But yeah, Techno, loved her. She was adorable, and we'll see if she appears again. Diaz, the smoky old guy that somewhere throughout the middle of the story I started to think like, oh god, no, why did I give this old firefighter this smoky ass voice? That is kind of the cursed voice. Is he gonna, okay, no, he's alive. Woo! Sometimes the curse doesn't trigger, and I'm very happy. But he was a good character. He was a good character. He was basically the parent of the entire art community, and everybody loves him. God, did I was definitely afraid that he's gonna die at the end. I was really afraid. The way the story was going there at the end, right before the explosion, I really thought something along the lines of he's gonna do a stupid thing and his consciousness is gonna kick in and he's gonna shove Raynell out of the way and die in his stead. Oh god, I would have hated that if that would have happened. Oh boy, I'm so happy nothing like that happened. And he's around, and he's alive, and he's now the owner of a bistro? Of a restaurant? Of a barbecue? I can vibe with that. Also, I do, like I pointed it out during the story there in that one CG, I love how his normal sprite looks like a very, very normal, very old, and just done with the world old firefighter, while while in that one CG at the end, he just looks like 40 years younger, 30 or 40 years younger. What the hell was happening there? But yeah, good guy, and once again, we'll see if he actually appears somewhere in the future or gets mentioned. Who knows? Always a possibility. Candela made a small appearance, nothing much to say there. She is as conniving as always and is pursuing her own little agenda. I do love the little thing at the end with her where she's using that coffee to pretty much point out an analogy of, hey, we have these three sides that are fighting against each other, but if you balance them out and you kind of manage to somehow put them together, you get that sweet, sweet caramel, right? But yeah, I guess we'll see. Considering this is... this is taking place on the heels of the first story. Well, at least several months after the first story, so it's kind of like hard to put into perspective when exactly this is taking place, which year, what not. So just like the first story, it's kind of hard to tell. But we'll see. We'll see if they actually tell us at some point when and how shit is happening. We do see good old Tequila, so with no costume changes or whatever the hell. So yeah, probably not much time passed since he and his sister have left Dossoles after the whole thing with Shen and Ziret happened over there. But yeah, alright. Okay, first, before we go into Team Rainbow, our two operators from Rhode Island, Tequila and Catapult. I don't know, Tequila made sense in the story. I'm actually surprised that they brought Catapult into this story. That was interesting. I do like their little dynamic, and I do kinda see what you guys are bringing up, which is the shipment of those two. Kinda interesting. I didn't really, up until the very end, like there were probably like 2 sentences in there that made it seem like Catapult really cares about Tequila. And I guess, I don't know, Tequila does, he's kind of like just the normal charmer guy, so he doesn't really send these vibes back. But he does love to tease her, which is, they're a nice dynamic. I'll put it that way. They're a nice little dynamic. I don't quite see it, like super super hard shipping them, but I guess there could be something. I don't want to dismiss it, of course. I'm just saying I don't really 100% see it. They are cute together, though. I'll say this. They're very cute when together. She being very protective of him is very cute, and he just teasing back is also a very cutesy little thing. I like that he is finding his place essentially amongst the Rhode Island crew and is just vibing with them. That is very cute. And I do wonder what Candela has in plan for him. I mean, we did get a tiny bit of a foreshadow that she wants to put him in power eventually, but we'll see. That feels like it's gonna be some years away from wherever this is taking place. Alright, Rainbow Squad. Let's go with the easy one, Fuze. Not much to say there. Pretty much a Tachanka, pardon. Outside of that, I have really nothing much to say. Doesn't talk much, and that's about it. He's just cool. He's just cool. He's vibing, but he also feels like the voice of reason a lot of times, especially a couple of scenes where I think it was one of the scenes talking to Ella and just like checking in with everybody. Are you sure you want to do this? And if he feels like they're super secure and are aware that what they're planning to do could backfire, but they still want to go through it, he's in support. He's in full support. I like the guy. He's fine. I do like that they never want to show the faces of him and Tachanka, so even in that one CG, they kind of put it away. But whatever. Iana. First off, I'll say, if for those of you who have never seen how Iana looks in Rainbow Six, do look it up and compare her to this model, cause oh my god, I mean, all of them look like a billion times better, but that's literally the animification beam that they all get hit with. Literally turn any real human being into an anime character, and they're gonna look like fucking bombastic all of a sudden, and younger, of course, because let's be real here, everybody in anime looks stupidly young always. You can barely do anything with anime styles to make someone look a bit older, but yeah, also I think she's in her 30s. I think most of them are in their 30s or even 40s. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're way older than they look. But yeah, she's cool. She's nice. I love her shenanigans with the Gemini, especially, and I've already gushed over that scene, that one moment with her literally using the momentum of the situation with the guards, the soldiers watching that horror movie, which is such a weird also scene when you think about it. Them watching a horror movie, just trying to, I guess, distract themselves or whatever the fuck. Just like we don't have anything to do with whatever the fuck is happening in the rest of the building. But yeah, she using the momentum of them being piss scared and turning her Gemini a bit into a Sancta with the halo on top. That was so cool. Also, that CG was fire! But yeah, cool little character. And that's all I can say. However, she and Doc put together and just exploring the world is something that I could, I think, read about for quite a while. Because those two have amazing reactions to whatever is happening around them. That is just amazing. Them just going around and exploring shit and finding stuff and then having their minds blown the entire time is beautiful. I cannot wait to... Doc I already have E2, but I cannot wait to get both of them into E2 just to see their operator records, just to see how they're gonna feel about wherever the hell they are headed to, because that's gonna be absolutely hilarious probably. God, oh my god, if Doc's operator record is about Gaul, I'm gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna laugh or if I'm gonna cry for him, the poor guy. Then, speaking of Doc, what a guy. I don't even know what to say about him. He's quite the charmer, isn't he? He's chill, laid back, does let some darkness seep through from time to time. Whenever there is a tense little thing where he just stops himself from saying something. God, the croissant scene is never gonna leave my mind. I think that is beauty. That is just pure beauty. And yeah, finally, Ella. What a character. I will say, out of all of the 4 members that were introduced here, I think she's the one on a personal level that I could vibe with as a person the best. And I'm probably going from the perspective of the amount of times she was aware of stuff that is happening, but is rationalizing stuff and just talking about it. This is how the situation is, while everybody else starts to get pissed, like when she was telling them about Raynell and stuff, and everybody was springing to action, but she was kind of not there. She was just bringing over what the situation is, like rationally looking at stuff. I was like, I can kind of vibe with that. I feel like I'm kind of that way, where I can see both sides of the coin, I guess, and rationalize both sides' opinions, like taking both sides in essentially, and listen through them. I kind of always do that as well when I look at it, like not getting too whining about something, unless something happens where I do get pissed, like towards this story. I was very on board with how she reacted to Raynell and his disregard to his own life. That I can vibe with. That I can really vibe with. I would have punched the shit out of that guy as well and yelled the fuck out of him that a life shouldn't be just tossed away, even if it's your own. But yeah, let's not get too much into that. But, yeah, she's a cool character. What else to say? She is absolute badass. And, kinda... God, that operator record, I kinda wanna... That would be stupidly hilarious. But I kinda wanna see her in the, in the Casimir's Major. Oh my god. But yeah, anyway. Also, that operator record with her kinda brought in another little element of how these guys are actually capable of doing stuff in this world. And I've saw this, I don't think I've saw this in my comment sections, but I've seen this in other places brought up, that it feels kind of unrealistic that these humans who are definitely weaker and the guns are essentially pea shooters. As powerful as these guns are meant to kill humans. These guns are not meant to kill people on Terra. As literally indicated at the beginning of the story, that one guy got shot well, they didn't say point blank, but one of the guys from the military squad got literally shot by a fucking shotgun, and the guy took it like it's nothing. So yeah, the guns are useless. So how do the guns become actually useful, and how do these guns actually do damage to the people of Terra and other things? Well, as literally a little bit of sprinkled information in there happens during Ella's operator record, she has at that point in the timeline, she has modified Grismot mines, which pretty much means that every single one of their weapons is probably modified to some extent. They probably act the same way they do normally. They are definitely not arts units still, but probably thanks to Rhode Island and, as Blitz said, closure probably, they... pardon? They probably managed to do something to the guns that made them a bit more powerful, a bit more oomph, essentially, into the guns. Armor piercing, probably? Like, extra armor piercing rounds? But yeah, interesting. I do actually wonder, I need to read through their files again. It's been a while since I've seen Ash and the other ones as well, if they mentioned something about if something was done to their guns and, well, something was done to their equipment, definitely to make them more feasible in these environments, but I do wonder what specifically they do to their guns to make them a bit more powerful in this world. But, yeah, overall, this is an enjoyable story. What can I say? From start to finish, I like the pacing. The one thing they keep skipping over, like at least in the first story we had something of an explanation as to how they ended up in Terra. This time around we don't really get it unless, and this is pure speculation, unless they're saying that there might be like a tear left there and it occasionally triggers, like if over time just enough energy gathers and the and whatever warp hole or whatever fucking phase gate or whatever the fuck there is just manifests again after it gathers enough energy, maybe from the side of Terra, considering Terra has Originium and Earth doesn't. Maybe that's a thing, like Earth, maybe Earth and, well, the Rainbow Six Earth and Terra are now connected through some kind of portal, which occasionally opens up and swallows whatever the fuck there is in. Wouldn't be the first thing, and wouldn't be the craziest thing on Terra, right? Considering everything else. But yeah, interesting. I do wonder if they're ever gonna explain as to what the hell is happening and how these people actually, well, this second group ended up on Terra. But for now, it's a mystery with no actual explanation, which is a bit sad, but again, just leaves more room on the writing table for a future story if they actually go into it. But we'll see about that. For now, I think I'm gonna leave it at here. Like I said, I hope there's gonna be a third story in the future. I would really enjoy it, and it would be nice to have a full squad of operators eventually, but we'll see if that happens. For now, all I can say is, hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys liked, and yeah. Like I said earlier, please consider leaving a like, it would help me a lot, and if you're new to the channel and even made it through this ramble here, thank you! Damn! And yeah, consider subscribing if you haven't, and there is lots and lots more on the channel, from operator records to, well, pretty much every single story in Arknights right now that is available. You can just sit back and listen to them, and yeah, more to come. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. The next one is, I think, yeah, after this is literally the rerun of the original Rainbow Six story for a short while, and after that, I think we have a CC event, and after that should be Bobble. So the first, I think the next first new story is Bobble, and I am excited, and I don't feel I'm ready for it, but we'll see. Oh boy, that will be for another day. Again, thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for listening, and hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are. If you're watching this before you got your second 10 pull free tickets, good luck on that pull. If you're watching it after, hope you had a good pull. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.